6 on the CBC Evening News.
Tonight, part 1 of CBC's two-part miniseries, The Arrow. Was it an aircraft 20 years ahead of its time? Or was it another government project that had gone out of control? The CBC Sunday night movie, The Arrow.
Proceed to test sequence 4. Over.
Avro Tower 101 into test sequence 4. Maximum climb at full throttle to 40,000 feet. Record vibrations in airframe. Still together at 40,000. We'll try the other side of the hill. Mach 0.5. Mach 0.7, increasing throttle.
101, this is Avro Tower. Please be advised Mach 0.85 is maximum speed on this prototype. Reduce throttle, please. 101, over.
Mach 0.83.
He's trying to go supersonic.
101, this is Avro Tower. Reduce throttle immediately, over.
Mach 0.89.
Flight Lieutenant, cut throttle and pull out now.
Mach 0.95.
Mr. Woodman, do you read? This is Avro Tower. Reduce throttle and terminate dive now.
I read you. Okay, reducing throttle. Mach 0.97. Avro Tower, we've got a problem. Signs of structural failure, controls non-functional. Initiating emergency procedures. Preparing to exit aircraft.
101, keep us advised.
Number 1, I advise your canopy bolts have failed to fire.
101, do you read? 101, can you respond? Over.
head for the smoke, June.
Anybody see a parachute?
Hey, look. It's the pilots.
You're lucky to be alive as far as I'm concerned. Now, good luck.
Thank you.
You have a statement, Flight Lieutenant? Was it a mechanical or human error? Any comments, any information at all?
Flight Lieutenant Woodman, what the hell do you think you were doing up there?
Just trying to survive a flight in that plane of yours.
That plane was designed to go Mach .85. It's right in your pilot's manual. You can read, can't you?
In close combat, there isn't a lot of time for checking the airspeed.
You weren't in combat, Mr. Woodman.
You were testing a Mark IV Avro prototype that meets all the operational requirements that the Royal Canadian Air Force asked for.
Well, we should have asked for more.
Kate, what'll this mean for the program? Any comment?
Nothing they'd let you print, June.
Avro's new weapon of destruction. More like self.
You okay, Jim?
Yeah?
The CF-100 is a damn fine airplane. There's nothing wrong with your design.
No, I know.
We just have to get Buck Rogers as a pilot.
Still, when all's said and done, it's not the most exciting plane in the world, is it?
Hey, kid, how they hanging?
Oh, not too good, Ruby.
Heard the news. Prototype dug a trench, eh?
Yeah. The bad news is the pilot got out alive.
You'll straighten it out, Kate.
Yeah.
The CF-100's not such a bad old crate.
Thanks, Jill.
You remember in '42 the nightmare we had putting together that first-length bomber?
That thing was so big, we never thought we'd build anything that huge.
Yeah. Old Sir Roy Dobson brought in that team of British engineers to inspect the first one. We all hoped they'd get their asses torpedoed on the crossing.
Remember that? He went over every inch of that thing. He was poking his cane into one thing after another. We were all quaking in our boots. I mean, he was the designer after all. And finally, he finishes the inspection, and he looks at his engineers and he says, "About our Lancaster. Now that, gentlemen, is the way to build a bloody aircraft." Sure could use another day like that. Night.
Night.
Hi. I'm sorry I'm late. I got all caught up doing a crash report.
The boys are asleep. The phone's been ringing all night. It woke the baby twice.
Well, I'll look in on them. Thank you very much, Mrs. Buckle.
Good night, Mrs. O'Hara.
The radio said your plane crashed.
Oh, yeah. I had a bad day today.
Know what?
What?
Both Duke and I came right onto his hand. There was blood and everything.
Oh, no. Hey, George, you know what we're gonna do? When I get the 100 back into production, maybe we'll take a nice long vacation together, okay? We'll go to Miami Beach, all of us.
Daddy, too?
No, honey, not Daddy, too.
Sorry about your bad day.
Today I figured out that I spent the last 4 years building a boring airplane. Good night, sweetheart.
We're preparing this film for Cabinet. This is a Tupolev Bear from the Ticino Air Show. Built for bombing runs across the Pacific.
Yes, sir, but we can handle that.
Yes. But this is something you haven't seen. The Ilyushin IL-22 bomber. A whole new generation of Soviet jet bombers about to be constructed with speed and altitude and range far beyond what we imagine. And they're going to build thousands of them, and they won't be coming across the Pacific. These bombers will be able to fly over the polar ice cap right in our back door and drop a nuclear payload on any North American city they choose.
We're going to have to defend nearly 2 million square miles of Arctic. We need a new interceptor.
Correct. Here are the operational requirements the committee has compiled. We need to find a company to design and build her. I want you to go to Boeing, North American, Hawker Siddeley.
5-to-1 weight to thrust ratio? 2G turn at Mach 1.5 at 50,000 feet with 0 loss of speed or altitude. The thrust of a rocket, a weapons bay bigger than a B-29, and the handling of a 2-seater Cessna, and they think this is possible?
It's what we need.
So this is going to be one hell of an aircraft.
The CBC Sunday Night Movie will return. The CBC movie The Arrow is brought to you in part by Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true, and by Royal Bank Financial Group, taking care of financial needs one customer at a time.
Tested and true.
These are athletes of the Special Olympics World Winter Games. They demonstrate a spirit that can be an inspiration to all of us. And when 2,000 of these athletes with mental disabilities compete in Toronto and Collingwood this February, the world will be watching. Royal Bank Financial Group, premier sponsor of the 1997 Special Olympics World Winter Games.
It's the way the sun helps things grow in their own time. It's the way bread begins as an ocean of wheat before rising in the oven. The way onions can make you cry, even when you're laughing. And it's the way we make over 1 million people their favorite sandwich every day, which, in case you're keeping track, is more sandwiches than the entire population of Manitoba. Subway. It's the way a sandwich should be.
On February 14th, power corrupts. Power deceives. Power kills. Clint Eastwood.
You know who did it, don't you?
So will you. Absolute Power. Opens everywhere February 14th.
Hey, good morning. Are you visiting the dentist?
I am the dentist.
Oh, have you tried new Colgate Total mouthwash?
Colgate Total has a mouthwash.
Uh-huh. Fresher breath for up to 12 hours.
No room.
So what do you think?
Good.
Colgate Total's proven antibacterial formula provides fresher breath for up to 12 hours when used as directed.
Hey, good evening.
Still working.
New Colgate Total mouthwash.
Welcome to this edition of your national television news feature program, CBC News Magazine. In tonight's story, we look at the American Civil Defense Program and its response to the threat of a Soviet nuclear attack. Is Canada ready?
We must learn to live in a world where we have the hydrogen bomb and the enemy of freedom has the hydrogen bomb.
If the communist bloc does attack, our radar sites and observers will sound the alert. Giant bombers will take to the air. Jet fighters will scream aloft. Fighters will account for some of the enemy, but some will get through to your home.
we going to do about Avro, CD? Production shut down again on the CF-100.
I've done it already. I fired Avro's president today.
You fired him?
I can devote all his time to his golf game. I have big plans for Avro, big changes. You'll see the CF-100 program sorted out. They'll be in full production again in no time.
Well, I'm relieved to hear it.
But I have a favor to ask.
What's that?
It's about this new fighter interceptor of yours. I want you to consider Avro aircraft.
Well, they've hardly proven themselves on the 100 CD. This new aircraft will be highly advanced.
From what I hear, aircraft companies haven't been exactly lining up at your door to build it. In fact, I hear the Brits and the Americans say the specs are unrealistic.
The Brits just want to sell us their little Hunter F-1. Said we could stick a maple leaf on it if we wanted to. It's 1/3 our range requirement. Single engine, no navigator. It's totally unfit for Arctic patrol. And the Americans tried to sell us the F-102, and it's barely supersonic.
You know, Wilf, this country does best with a big project. The Hudson's Bay Company. The Canadian Pacific Railway. That's why we're building the Seaway. Ships from every country sailing into the very heart of this continent. Canadian wheat sailing out. It's why we're building the oil pipeline. It's why I set up Trans-Canada Airlines. And that's why I got Avro started. All I'm asking is give Avro a little time to make a presentation, hear them out.
You said that there were big changes for Avro. How are you going to turn them around?
I'm going to give them one of my boys.
Chief Engineer Floyd, excellent organizational man with a devoted team. The designer, Chamberlain, erratic. The contact in Manchester used the word brilliant.
Welcome to Avro, sir. I'm Chris Mine.
How do you do? This is my personal secretary, Claire Connors. Good morning, I'm Crawford Gordon. Nice to meet you. Hello, I'm Crawford Gordon. Good to see you. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Who is that? Crawford Gordon. C.D. Howe's boy wonder in the war. Ran the whole munitions production.
Good morning, gentlemen. Madam, I'm Crawford Gordon. Please sit down.
Mr. Gordon, I've assigned Chief Engineer Floyd here to make a report on the crash. James?
Oh, well, we'll have a full report on your desk by the end of the week, sir, but we think the basic cause of this crash...
Thank you, James. I'm confident that the problems with the CF-100 will be solved and we'll be back into full production very soon.
Oh, thank you.
And this company, Avro, has the capability, the brains, the tools to accomplish anything we set our minds to. You've shown it in the past. You built the Anson, the Lancaster bomber, the jetliner, first passenger jet in North America by several years, designed and built right here. There's no lack of ability in this company. What you need is leadership. That's where I come in. But today I want to talk about the future of this company. With the advances in metallurgy, electronics, hydraulics, we're on the threshold of a whole new era in aircraft design where almost anything is possible. I see a future that will take us farther than anyone has imagined, speed and altitude, into the stratosphere, maybe even to the very edge of space. And here is the first step. These are the operational requirements for a new aircraft which has been secretly tendered by the Royal Canadian Air Force. It's a highly specialized, high-performance fighter interceptor. Do you know where they've gone for bids? To the Americans, to the Brits. Well, I believe it's the destiny of Avro Canada to build this new aircraft right here.
Beyond Mach 2, the Americans have to dive their sabers straight down to get past Mach 1.
Battle operational from freezing to boiling.
Oh, no existing metal could withstand this. How did the other manufacturers respond?
They said it was impossible. I want to hear what you say.
Well, I'm sure it would be a very intriguing project, Mr. Gordon, but the fact of the matter is that the speeds they're asking for would either melt or tear the wings and tail off any existing airframe design.
So you're saying it's impossible?
Well, technically, given the data and the materials presently available, yes, it's impossible.
I see. Well, I'm disappointed. I guess I was wrong.
Why would he walk in like that with those crazy specs? I mean, we're a good team. We're ready to take on another project, but why not give us a plane we can build, not some crazy... It is crazy, don't you think? You happy with the CF-100 solution? Pin joint under the boom with reinforcement plates?
Yeah, then they can dive it to Mach 1 if they want.
Symphony season begins on Thursday. I was thinking I might take the kids, give them a shot of culture. You want to come?
You know what this is?
Yeah, it's a water chestnut.
No, it's a perfect spacecraft. Of course, everything in space is the perfect spacecraft. Just imagine, zero drag.
You're thinking about that new aircraft.
In space, the potential velocity is almost limitless. Almost limitless.
But that's space. We're dealing with heavy atmosphere. We penetrate air, we create drag and turbulence, reduced velocity, back to square one.
Okay. Conventional aircraft have the...
And so what do we do? Well, how do we control it? How does it fly?
I don't know.
Who is it?
It's me, Kate. It's a really simple thing, Kate.
Jim.
It's a really simple
It's
thing.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Like I was saying, the problem with supersonic flight is the drag. It's always the drag. And that's created by the wings and the tail. We have to get rid of that. We have to get rid of the wings, and we have to get rid of the tail.
No wings or tail.
Yeah. Then there's no drag.
Just get rid of them. Cut them off. That's a hell of an idea. Oh, Jim, please. Charlie's going to be up in 2.5 hours. I don't have time for this.
Told you it was simple.
Come in.
Honestly, Kate, couldn't this have waited until Monday?
Just come. Just come and have a look at this.
What?
You'll see. Are we crazy, or is this the perfect supersonic design?
It's certainly different, I'll give you that.
Well, you see, the wings and the tail become part of the fuselage.
You know, this could well withstand double supersonic.
Of course, the wings will have to be extremely thin and, of course, extremely strong.
Well, that means lightweight alloys.
At these speeds, we're going to need hundreds of pounds of pressure.
We'll need powered hydraulics of some kind. What about the wing leading edges? I mean, how do we stop it from melting at Mach 2?
Stick in an air conditioner.
Air conditioning the leading edges.
Why not?
Hey, I was thinking about these specifications that the engines are replaceable in 30 minutes without hand tools. But...
Oh, hello. This is James Floyd. Could I speak to Mr. Gordon, please? Oh, hello, Mr. Gordon. It's James Floyd. I'm terribly sorry to disturb you like this. Oh, thank you. Well, you see, what happened is a gang of us got together with some of the lads, and we may have something on that RCAF proposal. Could we meet on Monday? Oh. Oh, no, that's perfectly fine. Thank you. Well, he says we should go round there now.
This way, please. Darling, your guests are here. Bring some more coffee, please, and tea. Lots of it.
Morning.
Morning.
Well, sir.
Oh, call me Crawford, James.
Yes, Crawford. Right. Young Jim Chamberlain, our aerodynamicist, he's come up with the basic idea for a triangular-shaped airframe, which we think will do the trick.
And that'll fly, will it?
Yes.
How fast?
Mach 2.
Maybe more.
And the engine?
Oh, Rolls-Royce. Nothing but the best. They'll have the power that we need. We'll start with test models of the airframe. But you should be aware, Crawford, that this is going to be big.
Don't worry about that.
No, I mean huge. I mean, there are thousands of parts, systems, mechanical, hydraulic, electronic, electrical, they don't even exist. I mean, this is going to make the CF-100 program look like a Meccano kit.
Good. You build this thing, James. I'll get the funding. Jim?
Yes, sir?
Call me Crawford. Tell me a little bit more about this new airframe.
We'll need to forge our own alloys.
We'll need a new
We should
skin
get
machine
that
about
new
3 times the size.
704 computer from IBM. That would be like having 3,000 more engineers.
I was thinking about the engines, replaceable in 30 minutes. We suspend them from rails. One comes off, the other just slides
Rails,
on.
that's a damn good idea.
Sort of.
He's quite a lad, isn't he? Our new president.
Yeah,
Our CBC movie, The Arrow, will return.
These are athletes of the Special Olympics World Winter Games. They demonstrate a spirit that can be an inspiration to all of us. And when 2,000 of these athletes with mental disabilities compete in Toronto and Collingwood this February, the world will be watching. Royal Bank Financial Group, premier sponsor of the 1997 Special Olympics World Winter Games.
McDonald's, huh? Yeah. Smells good. Thanks.
If this ride were any longer, you'd have to fight for those fries.
We're stuck.
Rev up your weekend with a fab Friday lineup on CBC.
Oh yeah.
At 7:30, it's Royal Canadian Air Force.
Oh, that's good news, bud.
Then join Rita McNeil in a showcase of the hottest music from across Canada on Rita and Friends.
Isn't that fantastic?
At 9, it's an encore. This hour has 22 minutes.
Oh, God, baby, you're the best.
Followed at 9:30 by Mr. Bean. It's a fabulous Friday night lineup beginning at 7:30 on CBC.
This is my idea of a challenge. So when I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice, that's what I thought I was getting into. What I got was a sure thing. High endurance deodorant. It evaporates less quickly than the leading stick. It also lasts longer and protects better. Old Spice even guarantees it. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. So if you're looking for a real challenge, the sky's the limit. If you're looking for the best deodorant, try high endurance from Old Spice. Because now you've got proof. And a guarantee.
Well, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I know what I like. And I sure like the new Quaker fruit and oatmeal bars. Real fruit filling in a crust with real Quaker oats. And since we've discovered the new Quaker fruit and oatmeal bars, well, the grandkids seem to like my stories a whole lot more.
Grandpa, we like your stories, but can we have another bar, please?
Well, sure you can. You see what I mean? New Quaker fruit and oatmeal bars. The goodness of Quaker in every bar.
They say that maybe one got away. There's a farmer in Western Canada who knows the legend well. You see, he has a little secret he keeps hidden away in an old barn. Now, if only he'd tell us where that barn is.
See the only known remains of the Avro Arrow in Pushing the Envelope, a new exhibition at the National Aviation Museum in Ottawa.
The jet age has meant rapid development and growth for Canada, and in particular for Avro Canada Limited, which produces both the CF-100 and the Orenda jet engine. Thousands of new jobs have been created. Young engineers who used to head for the United States are now finding good opportunities in Canada. Under the dynamic leadership of President and General Manager Crawford Gordon Jr., Avro Canada is looking to diversify into other areas of aircraft design and manufacture, including civilian passenger aircraft. The Avro jetliner is the first and only commercial jet transport built on this side of the Atlantic. Successful in every way, it first flew in 1950, just 2 weeks after the British Comet. But when the Korean War started, the whole jetliner program had to be set aside while Avro concentrated all its energy on the CF-100, the most versatile and certainly the most heavily armed fighter in the world. In designing and producing these two aircraft, Avro Canada has demonstrated its claim to a place among the world's leading aircraft and aero engine manufacturers.
Now, gentlemen, we've gone over your ORs. They're pretty tough, but we feel confident Avro can build you an aircraft which will achieve everything you ask for.
As we did with the CF-100.
The CF-100 was over budget and a year behind schedule.
We're building jet aircraft, Flight Lieutenant, not toasters.
Well, I'm sure you could build a toaster.
Jim.
Yeah, well, we needed a totally new design for twice supersonic speed, so what it is, it's basically a wedge or a triangle. We got rid of the wings and the tail.
No wings or tail?
No.
Not as we know them, no.
Could you perhaps sketch us a simple version of this?
Well, it's like a triangle or a wedge. What engines would power?
Rolls-Royce RB106. They should be production ready for next year.
And flight control?
We're looking into navigation by computer.
Radio control from the ground?
No, miniature, basic, onboard computers, one for each
I
aircraft.
still can't visualize this aircraft.
Well, the drawings are very specific, Flight Lieutenant. It's a triangular shape.
A 30-ton triangle.
With a central fuselage, high overhead wings to give easy access to the belly pods and the engines.
But is it stable?
Yes, we think the design is very
We
stable.
haven't actually got rid of the wings and the tail. We've integrated them into an extremely efficient airframe.
We're completely confident that it will achieve the performance you require.
Look, it's like this.
There. Like that.
Would somebody get that, please? It's classified.
Do you think we might have a more formal proposal?
I don't know, sir. Boeing, Hawker Siddeley, Gloucester's, North American, they all think this plane is impossible. How can we expect Avro?
Listen, Jack, I like the idea of building our own aircraft. In the war, we built Hurricanes, Ansons, Lancasters. But when the Japanese were massing in the Aleutians, we couldn't get a plane for love nor money. The Brits had them all. We patrolled our coast against enemy subs in taut-wing biplanes. A lot of good men, friends of mine, never came back. I swore I'd never let that happen again.
This Will Curtis doesn't seem to be one to dilly-dally around. He'll give us a good chance to show what we can do. In any case, it was a very impressive demonstration.
Floyd, Sly. Why was I not invited to the meeting? You airframe boys want to keep all the glory for yourselves.
You know perfectly well why, Edward.
Mr. Critchley, manager of the Orenda Engine Division.
You have your hands full with the CF-100 program. We are using the Rolls-Royce RB106.
You've called for a minimum £20,000 thrust per engine, correct?
Yes.
Rolls may get £12,000 if they're lucky, 14,000 tops. Their design will never do 20,000 in a 46-inch hole. But I have a design that will.
Marrying an untried engine to an untried aircraft, it's just not done.
He's right, Crawford. We have enough on our plate as it is.
Besides, the lads at Rolls have assured me of the £20,000 rating. And development's on time and budget.
To start a new engine program now would be just too risky.
It'd be too risky not to.
How's your flight, CD?
Adequate. What's your assessment of this Avro team?
Well, they're an eager bunch, capable of anything if you push them a little. There's one young chap, Chamberlain, truly a brilliant mind.
Have you seen it?
The Interceptor? It's quite impressive. Looks like something out of a comic book.
You sure it'll do the job?
Well, that's what they tell me. Of course, the model tests will confirm all that. Once we get a model that achieves the performance required, Curtis will order it to production. We'll need 100 million to start.
To start, 100 million.
We need metals that don't exist, electronics that haven't been invented yet, hydraulics, pneumatics. We're building this aircraft from scratch, CD. It'll be the most advanced in the world.
Cut the crap, Crawford. This isn't the war anymore, and there are limitations. I want a responsible budget you stick to this time. You hear me?
Yes, please.
There it goes again. Mach 1.28, it loses its stability.
All right, let's go over it all again. Supersonic air is compressed. Compressed air is unstable air. Unstable air over flat surfaces and straight lines hitting the wing roots causes a shockwave effect and extreme turbulence. So, what we have to do is to find a way to guide the air over the fuselage away from the wing roots so as to reduce the shockwave effect. How do we modify? Where do we begin?
Wait. Wait.
Hey, Jim.
What is it, Jim?
Contouring. The fuselage. We pinch the fuselage just in front of the wings. Then the contouring will draw the air in and then force it out over the leading edge of the wings.
Minimizing the shockwave.
Yeah. Okay. Watch this.
Delicious, refreshing, and aerodynamic. Yes, Mr. Woodman, just in time. Now, that's the rocket that we use to get the model up to speed, and then the onboard sensors tell us the degree of stability. It's really quite invaluable.
All set to go?
Yes, sir.
Countdown commencing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. 1.5.9. Wing temperature 190 degrees. 1.2. 1.4 and stable.
Come on, baby.
Mach 1.6.
Come on, baby.
What was the last stable speed?
Mach 1.6, sir.
The Arrow will continue on CBC.
I waited for him every Saturday. He never once let me down.
Hi, Mr. Richards.
Took me to every game. Always waited to take me home. He still likes to watch the kids play. But now it's his turn to be given a lift.
Bye, Mr. Richards.
Bye, Mr. Richards.
Tried, tested, and true.
These are athletes of the Special Olympics World Winter Games. They demonstrate a spirit that can be an inspiration to all of us. And when 2,000 of these athletes with mental disabilities compete in Toronto and Collingwood this February, the world will be watching. Royal Bank Financial Group, premier sponsor of the 1997 Special Olympics World Winter Games.
You know, a decongestant tablet can take up to half an hour to start relieving your nasal congestion. A nasal spray like this, long-lasting Dristan nasal mist, goes right to the source of the problem, your nose. So it begins to work in seconds. And Dristan lasts up to 12 hours. Twice a day is all it takes. Fast and long-lasting. That's why I recommend it.
See how those beans are piled up? Well, look at that. It looks like a fort. When the butter melts, it goes down into the fort and visits every one of those beans. Beans love butter. Look at that one. It's so happy, it's smiling.
Hi, Eva.
There's nothing like butter to bring out the taste of your favorite foods. There's butter, and there is no other. Only butter.
Because you have reason to celebrate all year long. And because you talk to those who are close to you, not just now, but all year. Wherever in the world you call, AT&T Canada gives you something to celebrate with 1 month of free long-distance calls when you sign up now. With True Choice Anywhere, you save 25% on all your calls year-round, anytime, anywhere, with no minimum spend. And now, for a limited time, you get 1 month free from AT&T Canada. Call us at 1-800-806-5511 for your True Choice savings and 1 month free. Now that's something to celebrate.
Thank you for choosing AT&T Canada.
So call wherever in the world you want, but call us first.
Today, U.S. Army officials confirmed the secret detonation of an H-bomb at Jacobson Army Base in Nevada. The mushroom-shaped cloud was visible by viewers as far as Madison, 20 miles away. Sources refute claims made by the Soviet Union that they are developing an H-bomb with twice the
Okay,
power.
kids, it's time for bed.
In national news, the Progressive Conservative Party of Canada has elected a new leader, John George Diefenbaker. The small-town prairie lawyer has assumed the leadership of the official opposition. Mr. Diefenbaker has pledged to fight for benefits for farmers, fishermen, and the elderly, and to fight against the spending policies of the Saint Laurent government, particularly those of the man dubbed Minister of Everything, Mr. C.D. Howe.
That prairie fool, he knows as much about running a country as a dog knows about his father.
He stands up in the House, demands that I explain every detail, justify every expenditure, every program. Every bill we bring forth descends into a debate.
I think everybody knows he's a buffoon, CD.
Nevertheless, I must defend programs and expenditures. I put $100 million defense dollars aside for the production of this plane. But I have many hands out, and I can't hold on to it much longer. I put you in charge of Avro because you get results. I hope I wasn't wrong.
You're never wrong, CD. We're making great progress here. We'll solve our problems.
I don't want promises, Crawford. I want results. And I want them by the end of the month.
Of course, boss.
All right. What do we got?
Okay, we know that everything's fine up through Mach 1.
We're just wasting our time here.
Jim? What do you mean, no? What the hell are you trying to prove?
Damn, it's still not enough.
What are you doing?
We've got to get speed.
Well, you won't get it like that. It's not built to take 220, you know that. You'll blow the whole thing up.
It doesn't matter.
You're not going to get more speed out of it now, are you? It's useless.
It was useless before. We have got to have a wind tunnel, damn it. A decent wind tunnel so we can see what's wrong.
There isn't a wind tunnel in the country that'll do Mach 2.
Well, then build one or get one.
We don't have time.
I need a Mach 2 wind tunnel. Or we can forget the whole thing.
Oh, now that's great. That's just great.
Maybe I can help you. I could get you into Langley Air Force Base. Their test tunnel goes up to Mach 2.
You could?
Well, that'd be wonderful.
Take it into the States?
How soon could we go?
Get on the phone.
Very well. Shall we proceed? Now, increase the velocity until I say, please.
Mach 1. Mach 1.3.
No, slowly, please.
Mach 1.4.
You should come and see this.
Mach 1.5. Mach 1.6.
Okay, let's all watch for it now.
1.7.
Increase velocity to 1.9, please.
That is.
The air is not going over and under the wing.
It's traveling down the leading edge. There's no lift. The plane stops flying. Can you cut it to 1.8?
1.8.
What's going on in here, Emmett? Got the 100C model booked in here in 5 minutes. At ease. Who are these people?
Avro, Canada, sir. Major White okayed it?
By Lieutenant Jack Woodman, Colonel.
Well, that's the prettiest little thing I ever saw. We've never gotten a model stable over Mach 1.3. You gonna build it?
We plan to.
Where? England?
No, sir. Up in Canada. Toronto? That is, if we can get her up to our requirement, past Mach 2.
Past Mach 2.
Yes, sir.
Well, keep me posted. Come down anytime. And if there's anything I can do to help out, let me know.
Thank you, sir. I will.
So somehow we have to stop the air from going down the leading edge and force it up over the wing surface.
That's easier said than done, isn't it? Mr. Woodman, I'd really like to thank you for all your efforts in getting us into Langley.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I just hope it'll help.
At least now we understand the problem.
Good night.
Good night.
I must have left the lights on. I don't know why I don't carry those things. People are always saying be prepared, but I suppose I've always trusted a fate or some passing Boy Scout.
How'd you get into engineering, anyway?
Didn't want to nurse, didn't want to teach.
Are you married, or?
No. Well, only to my airplanes, or so my ex-husband used to say. Once he decided I wasn't having an affair with James or Jim or anybody else.
Jim's quite a character, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
So is he stable now, or?
What do you mean by that? I mean, how did you...
Security check, standard procedure. He was under psychiatric care.
That was 2 years ago. There was a lot of pressure from the CF-100 program on him, and he needed to rest, that's all.
Okay, fine.
Listen, Jim Chamberlain is the best damn airframe man that I've ever seen. And he is fine. Okay, so Paul has a dentist appointment at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it's pot roast tonight, but don't wait for me because I'm going to be really late, okay? I have a big meeting.
Kate,
Hi, Joe.
today we finished CF-100 number 300. So when do we start tooling up for the new Interceptor?
You'll be the first to know, Joe.
Mom?
Hey, George.
Mom? Can you come to swimming today?
Oh, no, it's your big meet today, isn't it? I can't. I've got a great big meeting. I can't be there, but you're going to swim your best, okay? Be a good boy today, okay?
Bye.
How's the day shaping up for you, Fred?
Well, June, we have perfect weather conditions.
Now, you've had a lot of problems with these high-speed model tests. What's different about this one?
Well, the difficulty with an aircraft this advanced is maintaining high-speed stability. But we're confident with this model, and the telemetering will confirm that we've licked this problem to Mach 2 and beyond.
Assuming that, what's your next step?
Well, we'll put the aircraft into production as soon as possible. We have to meet the tremendous urgency of this country's needs for defense.
Thanks, Fred. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Track curves to her. Sexy little thing.
Definitely a lady.
From what I hear, if it doesn't fly, it's the company that crashes. Ready to roll.
It's a nice day, Air Marshal.
Is your model ready, Spy?
Yes, sir. And so's the contract.
Commencing countdown. 5, 4, 3.
Here we go.
2, 1. Ignition. Mach 1.6. Mach 1. 1.6. Mach 2.
Yes.
Mach 2.3. Maximum rocket velocity. Ground is stable.
You have an aircraft.
Well done. Congratulations. Well done. Well, got a plane to build.
Yes, we do.
Congratulations.
We will return to the Arrow on CBC.
These are athletes of the Special Olympics World Winter Games. They demonstrate a spirit that can be an inspiration to all of us. And when 2,000 of these athletes with mental disabilities compete in Toronto and Collingwood this February, the world will be watching. Royal Bank Financial Group, premier sponsor of the 1997 Special Olympics World Winter Games.
Chevy Blazer, the only sport utility vehicle with a driver control system. It's nice to know it's there.
Celebrate the holidays at Red Lobster with our new Scampi Tails and Shrimp Dinner. Imagine petite deep-sea lobster tails served with savory garlic shrimp. It's at a special holiday price for a limited time, so hurry in now to Red Lobster Canada.
CBC Television on the World Wide Web. A wealth of information. Check out this week's hotspots. The Arrow. CBC, a website to call your own.
Do you know what a racist is? Cheers.
Based on a true story.
I don't want you to associate with any of them.
Could you ever fall in love with a Negro boy?
My daughter is not marrying you.
Many people believe that the whiter you are, the better you are. We're all the same. We're human beings.
Ekaya, a family chronicle, premieres January 23rd.
The world offers seat sale from British Airways. Discover a world of difference.
They say that maybe one got away. There's a farmer in Western Canada who knows the legend well. You see, he has a little secret he keeps hidden away in an old barn. Now, if only tell us where that barn is.
See the only known remains of the Avro Arrow in Pushing the Envelope, a new exhibition at the National Aviation Museum in Ottawa.
How are you going to deal with the thin wing? You're going to need some kind of self-supporting infrastructure.
Honeycomb. Just honeycomb the whole damn way. No time for a prototype, so we'll use the Cook-Craigie method. We'll go straight into production, and then we'll have hand tooling on the first aircraft. Look! Chamberlain, you duck bugger!
Hurt somebody. Terrible.
Here he comes. George, could you just give us a smile?
Not just now, boys.
Hi, Freddie.
Robert, Mary, I'm sorry. Could I just borrow him for just a moment?
You go in, my dear.
Why do I get the feeling it's a long-term loan?
It's from Rolls-Royce. They're abandoning the RB-106 engine program. We don't have an engine.
Critchley was right. Well, don't worry, Freddie. We'll work out something.
Right. So it's 3 against 1. I'm at my ceiling, guns are all jammed. I'm all but out of fuel, so there's no other place to go but down. So I put it into a steep dive, full throttle, and I almost get away from it, too. Except for one little problem, I blacked out. So I wake up at 2,000 feet, still headed for terra firma. I pull her out, engine sputtering, scraping the treetops, and there, right in front of me, is an airfield.
Well, I'm sure that wasn't the first time, Lieutenant, that you've woken up to find yourself in a dive.
My friends, we did it. We are about to build this new aircraft, designated the CF-105. We will call it the Avro Arrow. And it will be the most advanced supersonic fighter interceptor in the world. We have been contracted by the Royal Canadian Air Force to put this new design into full production as soon as possible. The Arrow will eventually service 20 squadrons across Canada, numbering 700 aircraft. And Canada is only the beginning. And just today, we have decided to take another big step. We will go beyond the airframe. For today, we have decided to design and build a new engine to power her. An all-Canadian, supersonic jet fighter interceptor, airframe and engine. Now, this isn't my plane, and it isn't Avro's plane. This will be your aircraft. From the designer to the riveter to the guy who sweeps the floor, the Arrow belongs to you. And to show you that I mean it, I am giving each one of you a bonus of Avro stock. Wait now. Don't cash it in. Hang on to it. Hang on to it. Buy more and I'll make you rich. Today, we've opened the door to the future. And the future is unlimited. Thank you.
So, holding out on me. A new engine program. Whew. So tell me, what are the specs? Is it axial or centrifugal?
Well, we've really just...
You didn't know about it? You didn't know about the engine?
We can handle it. Excuse me.
Don't put an unproven engine in an unproven aircraft, Crawford. It's the cardinal rule.
I like breaking rules.
It'll almost double the cost of the program, Crawford.
Look, gentlemen, do not worry about this tonight, all right? Tonight, just enjoy yourselves. Ask someone to dance.
I'm so proud of you. You big jerk.
I have something for you.
It's gorgeous.
What's the matter? What's wrong, Governor?
I can't wear this in public.
Wear it for me. Here, now. It's okay.
Can't stand being this close to you all day. Alone all night.
I know.
Clifford? I don't think I can do this anymore.
Listen, sweetheart. I've made a decision. I'm going to talk to her about a divorce tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I promise. I'll take care of everything.
Our CBC movie, The Arrow, will return.
Weather advisory, there is a winter storm watch in effect for the entire area today. Seems like it's only going to get worse. So look, if you don't have to be out there, please get off the roads.
Like flames from a fire.
These are athletes of the Special Olympics World Winter Games. They demonstrate a spirit that can be an inspiration to all of us. And when 2,000 of these athletes with mental disabilities compete in Toronto and Collingwood this February, the world will be watching. Royal Bank Financial Group, premier sponsor of the 1997 Special Olympics World Winter Games.
If you're between 50 and 75, Norwich Union will insure you for life with no medical exam or health questions.
Even with my heart condition, I didn't need a medical to be insured.
And they didn't ask us any health questions.
Your guaranteed life insurance can cost as little as $20 a month. Depending on your age and the premium you choose, you could be covered for up to $25,000. And in case of a fatal accident, your benefit triples up to $75,000.
With the guaranteed life insurance plan, I'll have the affordable protection I need, and my premiums will never go up.
Call this number now for your free personal enrollment kit. You're under no obligation, and no salesperson will visit. If you're between 50 and 75, you're automatically approved with no medical exam.
Guaranteed life insurance from Norwich Union. Call toll-free 1-800-204-5923. An operator is standing by to take your call right now. That's 1-800-204-5923.
And when ready, fire!
Now available on home video.
Now that's funny.
Royal Canadian Air Force flies again in this brand new video yearbook, Volume 3.
We grabbed a bottle of vodka and cruised the Kremlin for babes.
Now you can have your very own comedy channel in one easy-to-use video cassette.
To get what you want in life, you've got to be prepared
to kiss a little.
Children's programming with a message and tense family drama.
You can't come out of here.
Why not? Because they're the IBMs.
And we are the Macintoshes.
Airfarce never lets political correctness stand in the way.
And then move your playing piece around the board.
Call now and have Airfarce's funniest video ever delivered right to your door. Yearbook Volume 3. It's the most funny for the least money.
Call 1-888-656-9922. Order yours now or look for it at these fine stores.
Wednesday, the Toronto Sun says it's definitely a winner. Rebecca Jenkins and Garrett Wynn Davies in what TV Times calls a compelling drama. Black Harbor Shines. Wednesday at 9 on CBC television.
His drive was to be something.
With incredible ambition, he built an empire.
He scared me. He scared all of us.
He was a dreamer who made dreams come true.
Samuel Bronfman on Life and Times. Wednesday night at 8.
CBC Television News. In Hungary this week, the deportation to Siberia of resistance leader Major General Paul Malatar led to angry demonstrations against the continuing Soviet occupation. Since the bloody invasion on November 4th, 100,000 Hungarians have fled the country. Immigration officials report that Canada has taken in 8,000 refugees to date. Canada joins with Britain, France, and the United States in condemning the Soviet action and demanding their immediate withdrawal. In national news, the Trans-Canada Pipeline controversy took a new twist. Today, in the House of Commons, after 4 days of heated debate, Minister C.D. Howe invoked closure on discussion of the subject. The government bill to continue funding the pipeline will be put to a vote tomorrow and is expected to pass. Opposition leader Diefenbaker accused Minister Howe of taking democracy hostage and promised to make this a major issue in the upcoming election.
Rolls can't do it, can they?
We have a 46-inch hole. You think you can fill it? We need 20,000 pounds thrust.
It can't be done.
What?
Unless.
Unless what?
Unless you try something radical. Only 2 spools. Get rid of the center bearings.
No center bearings?
It's never been tried before. We'd use only outer bearings. Simplify the engine, reduce weight, increase airflow and thrust.
20,000 pounds?
More.
How soon can it be finished?
It'll be ready when it's ready. You should have come to me in the beginning. Now you've wasted all this time. Without me, you airframe boys have got nothing but an oversized paperweight.
Then get started.
Another 100 million?
It'll be the most powerful engine in the world, CD. Every country will want it for their aircraft, military and civilian. You'll get your money back 10 times over.
What's this about Avro buying Canadian steel improvements? And Canada Car? And a control interest in Dosco?
I needed magnesium and titanium. No one else in the world can get us those alloys. We have to do it ourselves. Remember, during the war, you hammered it into us. Don't rely on others for the basics.
I warned you this is not the war anymore. I sent you to Avro to supply this government with an aircraft, not build a little empire.
Well, this isn't about just one airplane, CD. I'm laying the groundwork here for a huge international aircraft industry. Isn't that what you wanted?
All at 3 times the original budget. Sometimes I wonder if this whole thing is a big mistake. Now listen to me. After the election, I want results. I want to see this thing in the air. Or we're going to reassess the whole program. You understand?
Can I have the engine?
All right. Build your engine, but remember, by the end of next year.
Yes, sir.
There's one other thing, Crawford. How's Mary?
Mary? She's well.
Good, good. It's a fine woman. Did business with her father, you know. It's a good family. Crawford, we're given the gift of privilege. With it comes moral responsibility. Set an example. It's a good marriage, keep it. Put your mind on business.
Frankly, CD, I don't see where this is any of your concern.
It's a weakness, Crawford. You can't afford it.
Still like the results we got last time. Run those numbers through again.
All right, sir. I'll try.
Let's just go through the sequence this time, okay? See if that makes any difference. Yeah, start there.
It's ridiculous.
What's the problem? I'm trying to make it as clear as I can. The landing gear will not fit in this wing. It's 3 inches too long. Can we widen the wing?
No.
Well, can we shorten the gear?
No, we need clearance for the belly pod.
Sir?
You have something to say?
Yeah, it's just over here.
What's your name?
Joe. Joe Pulaski. Hi.
Well, Mr. Pulaski, what do you think?
Well, no, couldn't you just bend the wings down? What?
What?
If you bend the wings down, then the gear doesn't have to be so long, right?
That could work.
4-degree cant, the wings would give us 3.5 inches. Yeah. Let's cant the wings and shorten the gear.
That won't affect the flying characteristics.
No.
Well done, Pulaski.
$10 degrees to starboard, sir. 10 degrees bank. No, 10 degrees, you're yawing. Sir, you're yawing. Good. Trim that up. Watch the airspeed. You're close to stall.
So, Mr. Woodman, while you're doing that, why don't you run through the automatic ground control interception procedure?
Nose up, losing altitude.
I haven't got that far in the manual yet.
Too much, losing airspeed.
Ah. How about the navigational computer? Why don't you run through the data feeding sequence for us?
Watch your airspeed. Steady on the bank. Too tight. Too tight, sir. Losing airspeed.
I'm just in the middle of that chapter.
You're in a spin at 1,500 feet, and... now you've just made a big hole, sir.
Isn't this how we first met?
I can't fly like this. I want an airplane. With these controls, I feel like I'm driving a dump truck. What do you need a computer for, anyway?
I'll show you. You want to go to Sudbury. You switch to auto, feed in the coordinates, set throttle and Mach number. You're in Sudbury in 9 minutes. And when you get there, you better know where you're going next, because while you're making up your mind, you're going to be out over the Arctic Ocean. This isn't going to be like any other fighter plane, Mr. Woodman. This is going to be a rocket ship. You have to be thinking 30 miles ahead of her all the time to stay in control. No seat-of-the-pants prop jock stuff is going to cut it here. You need to know her inside out, every system, every control mechanism, every nut and bolt. Or else, she's going to fly you.
Prime Minister Saint Laurent told reporters today he is confident of another win at the polls based on his government's record of accomplishments.
Another outstanding achievement of the 22nd Parliament was to get started the building of the natural gas pipeline which runs eastward from Alberta. This tremendous venture, of such significance to so many millions of Canadians, was only made possible by patience, persistence, and finally successful government action after a debate nearly as long as the pipeline itself and quite as full of another kind of natural gas.
Opposition leader Diefenbaker, visiting Winnipeg today, continued his attacks on government spending and declared if elected, he will, quote, break up the Bay Street monopolies and give everyone a fair deal.
You see, 14,000 pounds at 55% throttle. I told you, when we fine-tune the blades, it'll be the most powerful jet engine in the world. It'll put out enough thrust to drive the Queen Mary.
We want to use the Indian theme. Call it the Iroquois engine.
You say it's practical for other applications? Of course. We'll power almost any aircraft, bombers, passenger craft, even trains. Those airframe boys don't even know if that plane of theirs will fly. This engine is where Avro's future lies.
one hell of a future there, Critchley. I need that damn engine, Freddie, so keep on top of it.
The Americans have the J75 engine, Crawford. Now, it doesn't have the power.
I don't want an American engine. I promised this country an all-Canadian aircraft, and that's what they're going to get.
All right.
All right. Give us your vote. How are you?
Excuse me, who are you?
John Pallett. I'm the new progressive conservative candidate for this riding.
This is the workplace of honest men. It's no place for a conservative politician. Get out.
I have the right to campaign here for Mr. Diefenbaker.
No one here wants to know what you or that prairie blowhard have to say. Get off my property. Goodbye, Mr. Pallett.
The Arrow will continue on CBC.
These are athletes of the Special Olympics World Winter Games. They demonstrate a spirit that can be an inspiration to all of us. And when 2,000 of these athletes with mental disabilities compete in Toronto and Collingwood this February, the world will be watching. Royal Bank Financial Group, premier sponsor of the 1997 Special Olympics World Winter Games.
Dad, you worked late.
Oh, all night. You need any help?
No.
Good. I'm too tired.
I know that you'll always come through.
Thought you could use some help.
Thanks.
Celebrate the holidays at Red Lobster with our new Scampi Tails and Shrimp Dinner. Imagine petite deep-sea lobster tails served with savory garlic shrimp. It's at a special holiday price for a limited time, so hurry in now to Red Lobster Canada.
What did you do? I had to save Sarah and the baby.
There were no bodies in the fire.
Over!
You've got somebody crawling around out there with a big hole.
The dramatic season finale, north of 60, Thursday at 9.
Winning in Ontario's largest cash and cars lottery could leave you with a lot of decisions.
Cakes for John Jr., presents for little Emma.
Every $100 ticket has 1 in 28 odds.
Something for Esther next door.
Millions in cash and cars, including free $1 million grand prizes.
Huge jobs. A year's supply of ginger snaps. A condo in Bel Air. Hot tub, snooker table. A pool boy.
The Heart and Stroke multi-million-dollar lottery. Order tickets now.
Garrett of Idomo has a special break from winter for Idomo customers. Enjoy huge savings on home furnishings with Idomo's Winter Getaway Sale. Idomo has customized home theaters and offices, now less 20%. Enjoy this Marquez solid pine armoire, now just $799.95. A decorative solid pine dining table and chairs, just $1199.95. A single solid pine canopy bed, only $299.95. Get away from winter with Idomo's Winter Getaway Sale, on now for a limited time.
This year, more than ever, the arts come to life on CBC. Be it dance, drama, opera, or music, CBC presents art specials to enthrall audiences with stirring performances from Canada's finest talent. The arts and the artists, as always, on CBC. Television to call our own.
Somebody hit me with an axe handle. Put my hand back there and looked at it, and it was covered with blood. And some local guy walked up to me and he said, "You need a doctor?" And I was sort of shaking my head and saying, "Yeah, I think so. I think I'm bleeding." And he thrust his face right up into mine and said, "Well, we don't have doctors for people like you."
Canadians go to the ballot box tomorrow to elect their government. Recent polls indicate that despite their new leader, the Conservatives trail in the popular vote by as much as 20%. it seems likely that Louis Saint-Laurent and his Liberal Party will continue to govern.
Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Well, just an old seat-of-the-pants prop jock doing a little homework. What are you doing there so early?
I like to come here sometimes early in the morning, just before the shift starts, and, well, just look at her. It's wonderful when beauty and technology can come together.
Yeah.
What do you think of my navigational system?
Well, it's not bad. I do have one big problem, though. With electronic controls, I won't have any sense of feel.
What do you mean, feel?
Like, when you're in a car, you can feel the road. With this, everything's electronic and hydraulic.
Well, at Mach 2, you couldn't do it manually. You'd need hundreds of pounds of pressure.
Yeah, I know, but with your system, I won't be able to feel the flex and stress in the airframe and the control surfaces. I should be able to feel that through my hands.
Well, it's just not that way anymore.
When I fly, I'm part of the plane. I want to feel wing load and G-force. I need to feel the level of stress in the airframe or an over-control during a given maneuver, and I could tear a wing off.
It's not possible. You just have to figure out a whole new way of flying.
You don't need a pilot, you need a computer operator.
Feel? What does he want to feel for?
He says he wants to feel the forces on the plane.
My hand like a...
Honey, what I was saying was, I'm not just a working stiff anymore.
G-forces,
I'm
wing load.
a shareholder in the company now.
I think that makes sense.
No, it's completely unnecessary.
Spades.
You've got all of my bonuses in the stock. I'm working for myself now. May as well throw in our savings in there, too.
You know, I suppose you could recreate this sense of feel with dampers and weights.
Bonuses are one thing, but not our savings.
You know, hook them up to some electronic
There's no
sensors.
telling what could happen.
Don't worry. This Gordon
You could
guy's
get
got
some
the
sense of
Midas
the wing
touch.
load.
No, it's a total waste of time. Hey, another year, I'll buy you a new house. I might even buy you a new car if you treat me right.
Just play your card, Mr. Rockefeller.
Euchre.
Now the CBC News.
Listen.
In a startling upset, the Conservative Party will form the next government of Canada under John Diefenbaker.
Let me say to you this night,
God help us, ladies and gentlemen, that is our new Prime Minister.
Man's never been east of Saskatoon.
The man's never been west of Saskatoon.
there will be a process of equalization of opportunities for all parts of
You bet. I'm a lady now. Always knew if I stuck with this Polak long enough, he'd have me farting through silk.
The final count was Liberals 105 seats, the Conservatives 112. 7 Liberal cabinet ministers lost their seats, including the man dubbed Minister of Everything, Mr. C.D. Howe.
I don't know what to say, C.D. And has this country forgotten all that your government did for them? Are we all accountants in this country? We no dreams or visions anymore?
Not that that damned aircraft of yours was any help. Behind schedule, 3 times the budget, not a single plane in the air to show for it. You failed me, Crawford.
The Arrow will be an amazing achievement, sir. It'll be your legacy to the people of Canada.
Let me tell you something. These men who've come to power, they have small minds. You will scare them. And they will resent you, and they will strike out to destroy you.
I can handle those bastards. Don't you worry, the Arrow will pay off.
Not for me, it won't.
CD. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go home and play with my grandchildren.
All clear.
Well, you know, governments come and go, but Avro's here to stay. We're going to show them just who we are. We've got to go after these international markets. The Belgians bought a couple of squadrons of 100s. We'll give them a deal on the Arrow. Who's that American colonel?
Colonel Fairchild Wilson.
Right, Fairchild. Invite him up here for a visit. I've got to find a buyer for this engine. Try the French and the Italians.
We should meet with the new government, see which way the wind blows.
Well, I'll tell you how to find that out. Ask them for more money. How close are we to a fully assembled Arrow?
4 months.
Freddie, I want a rollout of a fully assembled Arrow in 2 months.
Crawford.
I want people to know what we're building here. I want them to see the amazing potential of this country. Give me Air Vice Marshal Curtis, please. Thanks, Dole.
You're welcome. Turn starboard, 30 degrees of bank. Turn port, 40 degrees of bank. 30-degree climb. Good. I'll have a little surprise for you. Turn starboard, 30 degrees of bank at Mach 0.75. Turn port 40 degrees and increase throttle. Do you feel?
Yes. I feel the wing load. That's good, real good.
Well, of course, it's just simulated here. It'll be a lot better once you're in the air, but that's the feel you were talking about, right?
Yes. You delivered, Miss O'Hara. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Mr. Woodman. We wouldn't want you snapping a wing off now, would we?
Daddy, go faster! Go faster, Daddy!
Now, Coffee. Daisy, has your lunch ready? Come out and get dry.
Better go now.
Let's play after that.
Crawford, aren't we waiting until 7 o'clock anymore?
Well, I have to be at the plant. Go over some cost reports with Freddie. I'll be late tonight, Mary.
I've thought about what you asked, Crawford. I've thought about it a great deal. But I think you know my answer. We'll both have to deal with this situation in our own way. But I warn you, if you leave, Coffee stays with me.
A program of structural and systems tests was begun at an early stage and carried out with one primary aim in mind. The first aircraft was not to be a handmade prototype. A comprehensive test program to prove all aspects of design was therefore necessary before starting.
And they're asking an additional $60 million.
It's an expensive program, there's no doubt about that.
No, sir.
But it's quite a feat of technology, if it lives up to expectations.
Prime Minister, we were elected on our promises of social programs. Raise the old age pension, new unemployment insurance plan. And we still have other hard choices to make. The Arrow is an example of everything we've campaigned against. The government funding huge liberal programs at runaway costs. The newspapers are saying we're already wasting more money than the liberals.
Don't forget the Soviet threat. The Russians can fly over us unopposed and drop nuclear bombs on our cities. We have to defend ourselves.
The main problem with Avro is Crawford Gordon. He's got them building a new engine and a new airframe at the same time. It's a little like wearing two left shoes. Maybe distinctive, but it's not too bright.
There were occasional delays, and sometimes adjustments had to be made to keep the whole project rolling smoothly.
Let's give them $45 million.
Oh, well,
But I want to see all the information on the Arrow program from the very beginning. And John?
Yes, sir.
That's your constituency. Ask some questions. I want you to see what you can find out about their operations.
Yes, Prime Minister.
To the Western Hemisphere. The Avro Arrow will mark a new chapter in the history of the Canadian
Pretty thing, isn't it?
industry and make a new contribution to Western defense.
The CBC Sunday Night Movie will return. CBC Television on the World Wide Web. A wealth of information. Check out this week's hotspots. The Arrow. CBC, a website to call your own.
time to ask yourself, does your battery have the juice to get you started when you really need it? Do your tires have the traction you need for slippery situations? Only Canadian Tire offers MotoMaster batteries and tires to get you going in any situation. All at the everyday low prices you'd expect from Canada's automotive store. Canadian Tire. Everyday low prices made better.
There's something in the music. It's very powerful. When you dance flamenco, there's something called the duende, which is the dancer becomes possessed. For me, it means that you're so happy you feel like it's almost like you're going to cry. I have a 2.5-year-old son. Our prenatal nurse swore to us that the best soap was Dove, and from that point on, I started using it. It cleans my skin without drying and irritating it. I think I have a real flamenquito coming up.
If you're between 50 and 75, Norwich Union will insure you for life with no medical exam or health questions.
Even with my heart condition, I didn't need a medical to be insured.
And they didn't ask us any health questions.
Your guaranteed life insurance can cost as little as $20 a month. Depending on your age and the premium you choose, you could be covered for up to $25,000. And in case of a fatal accident, your benefit triples up to $75,000.
With the guaranteed life insurance plan, I'll have the affordable protection I need, and my premiums will never go up.
Call this number now for your free personal enrollment kit. You're under no obligation, and no salesperson will visit. If you're between 50 and 75, you're automatically approved with no medical exam.
Guaranteed life insurance from Norwich Union. Call toll-free 1-800-204-5923. An operator is standing by to take your call right now. That's 1-800-204-5923.
CBC Television on the World Wide Web. A wealth of information. Check out this week's hotspots. The Arrow. CBC, a website to call your own.
Why was Jim dead?
Their troubled son ended up in a homeless shelter. 3 days later, he was dead.
I could not believe this was happening to our family.
The Fifth Estate, Tuesday night at 8 on CBC.
The Avro Arrow. The ambition, the politics, the controversy, the lessons. The legend remains strong. What is fact? What is not? The National, Monday at 10.
There's a feeling of anticipation here today, ladies and gentlemen, as we await the rollout of the first Arrow. Among the dignitaries are executives of Avro Aircraft, RCAF Air Marshal Wilf Curtis, and the new Conservative Minister of Defense, the Honorable George R. Parks, V.C.
Almost 50 years ago, the great Canadian pioneer, John McCurdy, who is with us on the platform today, flew the Silver Dart, the first aircraft to fly in Canada. History recognizes that event as the beginning of Canada's air age. I am sure that the historians of tomorrow will regard this event today as being equally significant. The future will belong to Canada, but only if the people of Canada have faith in the destiny of Canada and work to make it all come true.
You tell him, Will. Give him hell. I should like once again, in my capacity as Defense Minister, to commend the efforts of those who have contributed thus far to the development and production of this airplane. Through your efforts, you are making a direct contribution to the defense of the free nations of this world, and so to the well-being of us all. I now have the pleasure of unveiling the Avro era, Canada's first supersonic aircraft, a symbol of a new era for Canada in the air.
Parts, babe. We did it.
Congratulations. Thank you. Great job. Like permanent. Right here? Good. A bit almost over. Sure.
George, what do you think of my airplane?
I think it's nifty.
Me too.
So, do you think Crawford got what he wanted?
Oh, I'd say so.
I told the press no more than 2-inch headlines. We have to save something for the first flight.
Thank you, Yannick.
Oh, great, thank you.
It went well today.
Oh, very well. Nothing can stop us now.
Well, the engine is still on the test bed. The plane is a long way from first flight. C.D. Howe is not up in Ottawa writing checks anymore, and the Globe says we are heading for a recession.
This is supposed to be a party. Go and raid on somebody else's parade.
Hey, look. Look at this.
15,000 miles per hour beyond Earth's atmosphere, varying somewhat at different points in the orbit.
What?
Yes, it has been confirmed. Today, the Soviets have successfully launched Sputnik into orbit around the Earth. The satellite is able to circle the planet in less than 1 hour. It's currently being tracked by radar stations around the world from Alaska to Australia. The West has lost the race for space. The age of missiles has begun. We have in our studio Professor Harlan Sedgefield, military historian. Tell me, Professor, does this event mean the beginning of push-button warfare?
If missiles can be used to launch a satellite into space, then this will require the total rethinking of the defense of North America. It's conceivable that such missiles can now be used to strike targets here in North America with atomic bombs.
But what are we looking for?
Oh, it's a little dot of light. The sun will still be reflecting off it, so it'll look like a little star, like a little moving star. There it is.
Where?
There. About 45 degrees off the cup of the Big Dipper. See it?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. It's really moving.
Yeah, 17,900 miles an hour. It's almost limitless velocity. It's wonderful. It'll be over China in half an hour. They put weapons in these things? Weapons?
Jim, these guys are the enemy. Try to remember that.
Mr. Gordon, can you see it?
Freddie. Buy some of those damn American engines for the first 5 arrows and let's get them in the air.
All right, Crawford.
Don't worry, baby. You're going to be just fine.
What's your biggest problem with vacuum cleaners?
I don't like buying filter bags.
I don't think I ever came home with the proper bag.
Every time I had to empty the bag, there was always stuff would come out.
Throw those bags away forever. Introducing the next era in vacuum cleaners, the revolutionary Phantom Fury vacuum. It harnesses the powerful force of the cyclone in a patented process. 2 cyclones of non-stop continuous power devour dirt and deposit it into a clear bin. You can see it working up a storm and easily empty it. No bags to replace, no bags to clog, no bags, period.
With my old vacuum, I used to have to change the bags about a third of the way full to maintain power. With the Phantom Fury, I have full power all the time, and I don't have to hassle with bags.
I pulled up enough hair, dog hair, out of my carpet to make another dog.
It's incredible how fast and how powerful the Phantom vacuum really is.
It's made me feel better about my house being cleaner.
It allows your carpet to last longer, to look better, and to be more sanitary.
The Phantom Fury comes with a state-of-the-art HEPA filter on its exhaust to help protect you and your family from breathing in dust, mold, and pollen.
I'm a nurse, and I really appreciate having the HEPA filter on the Phantom because we use a HEPA filter as a protective mask when we're taking care of patients with active TB.
And you'll love the versatility of the Phantom Fury. 2 machines in one, from upright to cleaning wand. It ferrets out dirt high, low, under, and around. The features of the Phantom Fury are an unbeatable value.
It saves you money.
The quality is phenomenal.
This machine works better than any machine I've ever worked with.
Call now for a free video and brochure. The Phantom Fury vacuum cleans up a storm, and you'll never change a bag again. Call now.
It really is the best vacuum cleaner I've ever used in my life.
I love it. Yeah, it's the best one I've ever had, and I've had some vacuums.
Rev up your weekend with a fab Friday lineup on CBC.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
At 7:30, it's Royal Canadian Air Force.
Oh, that's good news, bud.
Then join Rita McNeil in a showcase of the hottest music from across Canada on Rita and Friends.
Isn't that fantastic?
At 9, it's an encore. This hour is 22 minutes.
Oh, God, baby, you're the best.
Followed at 9:30 by Mr. Bean. It's a fabulous Friday night lineup beginning at 7:30 on CBC.
A high seas mystery.
There's nobody here. Someone brought her in and abandoned her? She sank in 1946.
Every year she comes back to the same spot she went down.
What is with you and that bloody boat?
Black Harbor, Wednesday at 9 on CBC.
His drive was to be something.
With incredible ambition, he built an empire.
He scared me. He scared all of us.
He was a dreamer who made dreams come true.
Samuel Bronfman on Life and Times, Wednesday night at 8.
What did you do?
I had to save Sarah and the baby.
There were no bodies in the fire.
Over! We've got somebody crawling around out there with a big hole.
The dramatic season finale, north of 60, Thursday at 9.
South Africa plays with your head. You never know who your friends really are.
An expatriate recalls his past.
We have to tell someone. No one has the right to say such hurtful things to a child.
Hikaya premieres January 23rd.
It's a tough climb. Turning this barren warehouse into a rock climbing gym has become an uphill battle.
I'm not getting enough time. Like, I can't even get the cash done.
The rocky road to success. Tonight on Venture, right after Sunday Report.
The CBC movie The Arrow is brought to you in part by Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true, and by Royal Bank Financial Group, taking care of financial needs one customer at a time.
With respect, sir, we can't trust the defense of North America to missiles. The bull marks are still in development. They're completely unproven.
So is your airplane.
Hey, Phyllis, Sarah's gonna take her up. Come on. Hey, boys! We're gonna try one! Come on!
Tomorrow night, the conclusion of The Arrow.
Reported from still climbing and accelerating. My God, this is a rocket!
That's one incredible bird, Gordon.
Let's go wake up the Yanks over at Niagara Air Force Base.
What the hell was that? Why are the Canadians building military aircraft in the first place? I thought they built canoes.
The government has ordered a feasibility study into replacing fighter interceptors with unmanned missiles.
They're getting ready to shut this program down.
The Arrow is not turning out to be the aircraft that we'd hoped it would be.
This is a lie.
Somebody's got to take on that son of a bitch in Ottawa, and I'm just the one to do it.
And I demand that you personally guarantee that the Arrow program will not be canceled.
If you don't lower your voice and stop pounding my desk, I'll call security and have you thrown out.
There we go!
I want to be rid of these infernal airplanes. The sooner this is done, the sooner everyone will forget about them.
last night on Part 1 of the Arrow.
These bombers will be able to fly over the polar ice cap and drop a nuclear payload on any North American city they choose.
We need a new interceptor.
Welcome to Avro, sir. I'm Chris Mine.
How do you do?
Well, I believe it's the destiny of Avro Canada to build this new aircraft right here. I see a future that will take us farther than anyone has imagined, maybe even to the very edge of space.
Told you it was simple. Still can't visualize this aircraft.
Well, the drawings are very specific, Flight Lieutenant. It's a triangular shape.
Look, it's like this.
Mach 2.
Yes.
Mach 2.3.
We will call it the Avro Arrow. For today, we have decided to design and build a new engine to power her.
I don't think I can do this anymore.
I've made a decision. I'm going to talk to her about a divorce.
I've thought about what you asked, Crawford. If you leave, Coffee stays with me.
The Progressive Conservative Party of Canada has elected a new leader, John George Diefenbaker.
This is the workplace of honest men. It's no place for a conservative politician. Get out.
I have the right to campaign here for Mr. Diefenbaker.
No one here wants to know what you or that prairie blowhard have to say. Get off my property.
Listen.
In a startling upset, the Conservative Party will form the next government of Canada under John Diefenbaker.
Prime Minister, the Arrow is an example of everything we've campaigned against.
I want a rollout of a fully assembled Arrow in 2 months.
Hey, look.
Today, the Soviets have successfully launched Sputnik into Australia. The West has lost the race for space. The age of missiles has begun.
Buy some of those damn American engines for the first 5 Arrows and let's get them in the air.
Don't worry, baby. You're going to be just fine.
This is the Soviets' new Soyuz rocket.
Well, what does this new threat mean to us? The Americans want us to buy their Beaumark missiles. Should we stay with manned fighter interceptor aircraft, or buy those missiles? Or do both?
We're still assessing the threat of missile attacks, but we do know that the Russians are building more bombers than ever.
And the Americans tell us that their missiles can defend against Soviet missiles or bombers, and at half the cost. The Navy needs a dozen new anti-submarine frigates. The Army needs 200 new American tanks.
With respect, sir, we can't trust the defense of North America to missiles. The Bullmarks are still in development. They're completely unproven.
So is your airplane.
How soon can we start taxi trials?
Patience, Flight Lieutenant Woodman, a few days.
Jan, I'd like you to meet Flight Lieutenant Jack Woodman. Jack, this is Jan Zurakowski.
I saw you at Farnborough the first time you did the cartwheel maneuver in the Meteor. It's a hell of a show.
Thank you, Flight Lieutenant.
What brings you to Canada?
Jan is going to test pilot the Arrow for us. Jan, I'd like you to meet Flight Control Engineer Kate O'Hara.
How do you do? I must hear how such an attractive woman becomes a senior engineer.
Kate, perhaps you could update Jan on the new onboard computers.
I want to fly it first. This plane is mine.
No, not yet, it's not. Look, what this aircraft needs is an international recognition. Now, with Zurakowski's reputation, if he endorses it, I can sell this plane around the world.
But I know the control procedures, the backup system, every goddamn nut and bolt.
So will Zurakowski.
Zurakowski's going to go by the book. He's in no hurry. It could take him weeks or months to prove the Arrow's capabilities, and I don't think we've got that long. I could fly it today.
Look, I have no doubt that you can fly the aircraft, Woodman. Absolutely no doubt at all. But the fact of the matter is that I need to sell this aircraft outside of Canada. And what it needs is the endorsement of a big-name pilot. So, Zurakowski flies.
Did you know about this?
No, as a matter of fact, I didn't.
Well, it stinks.
I don't think you should take it too personally.
I'm not.
Sara's gonna take her up. Come on. Hey, boys! We're gonna try one! Come on! All right. Hey, boys, let's go!
Okay, strap.
Yes, go, go. You're lucky if it gets off the ground.
Avro Tower, this is Chase Plane 117, entering a left-hand circuit at 1,000 feet, standing by.
We read your chase plane. Carry on.
Morning.
Morning.
All right. We know it works on paper. Now we step into the unknown. Arrow 201, this is Tower. Do you read?
That's affirmative, Tower.
white craft is positioning itself now down at the end of the runway. As pilot Jan Zurakowski runs through his checklist, under the watchful eye of the men and women who built this, the world's most advanced jet fighter interceptor. Arrow 201, this is Avro Tower. You're cleared for takeoff.
Thank you, Tower.
Jan, how does the flight control system feel?
Fine. Mach 0.75. Entering a crosswind lane. Everything fine. Turning onto final. Setting up for touchdown.
Gear is down and locked. Looking good. Easy, baby, easy. We have touchdown.
Congratulations, buddy. Thank you.
We're on our way.
A great plane.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed history in the making here today with
our CBC movie, The Arrow, will return. The CBC movie, The Arrow, is brought to you in part by Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true, and by Investors Group. You are worth more.
I waited for him every Saturday. He never once let me down.
Hi, Mr. Richards.
Took me to every game. Always waited to take me home. He still likes to watch the kids play. But now it's his turn to be given a lift.
Bye, Mr. Richards.
Bye, Mr. Richards.
Tried, tested, and true.
It's not easy being an investor these days. With so many RSP options, it can be confusing if you don't have someone to help. At Investors Group, we work one-on-one over the long term, helping you build the right retirement plan and offering a world of mutual funds from advisors with proven track records. That's why Canadians trust us with more mutual fund assets than any other company. With Investors Group, you're worth more.
Nice, a bit of a sprinkle, maybe a slice. Oh yeah, make your breakfast so easy. Make it yummy, gooey and cheesy. Spreading the cheese, melting the cheese. I love the cheese, I love the cheese.
Whether you slice it, spread it, or toast it, cheese at breakfast is a great way to start your day. When you've got cheese, you've got choice.
Hey, good morning. Are you visiting the dentist?
I am the dentist.
Oh, have you tried new Colgate Total Mouthwash?
Colgate Total has a mouthwash.
Uh-huh, fresher breath for up to 12 hours.
No room.
So what do you think?
No room.
Good.
Colgate Total's proven antibacterial formula provides fresher breath for up to 12 hours when used as directed.
Hey, good evening.
Still working.
New Colgate Total Mouthwash.
While you're searching for the real you on top, remember, you have to get to the bottom with Organic's root-penetrating shampoo. Deep down care for healthy-looking hair. Organics. It'll go to your head.
With the first 5 arrows off the assembly line and flying with an almost flawless record of testing, everyone is eagerly anticipating a new generation of arrows with the more powerful Canadian-designed and built Iroquois engines. And now Avro Canada has taken over development of the Sparrow II missile and Astra guidance system from the U.S. Navy. This weapons system is the most sophisticated in the world, and Avro engineers are solving the guidance problems that defeated the U.S. Navy engineers. And Avro Canada isn't stopping there. Down in hangar number 4, work is proceeding on a prototype of the Avro car flying saucer for the U.S. Army. Avro is moving ahead on many fronts, and confidence in the future is flying high.
Hey, don't smudge it, huh? Ruby! Hey, Ruby! What do you think, hon?
Biggest piece of sheet metal I ever saw that doesn't fly.
Oh, it flies, baby. It flies real good.
You can't afford this, Joe. Kathy was just fine. Did you sell some stocks?
Didn't have to. Took out a loan. The bank just loves an employee of Avro Canada. Come on. Kiss? Ready?
Merveilleux, François. 20 000 livres, minimum. 47 pouces. Oui. Envoyez-moi la lettre d'intention et je donnerai la priorité absolue à la commande. Oui. Bien. Au revoir, Francois. Freddie, I just got a conditional order for 400 Iroquois engines. If we can make 20,000 pounds thrust. The French want it for their Mirage fighter, so keep on Critchley. Now, we need some more press releases. Something big. We need like a major story a week. Are we missing any angles here?
Well, it never hurts to play up the Canadian aspect. Zero's been great for the international recognition. But we've got a Canadian plane, a Canadian engine, and I think it's time for a Canadian pilot. I know the Woodman would kill to get up there, and I bet we can get Colwood to do a feature story.
All right, let's make Jack happy.
All right.
Hi.
Hi.
What are you smiling about?
Gordon changed his mind. I'm going to do the next flight at 2:01.
Congratulations, that's great.
Thanks. So, can you put me through some sequences?
Sure. Why don't I take you out for a drink after work, celebrate?
Great. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Come in.
Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true I'm being restricted to Mach 1.2 in tomorrow's flight?
That's right.
That's barely cruising speed. You could do Mach 2 without even working up a sweat.
I know.
Look, we've got to start showing some numbers in this plane. If the chiefs of staff don't see performance soon, they're going to bury this program and buy missiles.
This aircraft isn't going to do diddly squat until it's got the new engines in her.
That could take months.
Look, I'm not here to give free promotion to those Pratt & Whitneys. When the Arrow beats the world's speed and altitude records, it'll be with the Iroquois turbines and burners. Then I can sell that engine all over the world. We won't give a damn what government's in power. So, until the Iroquois is ready, we just take it nice and easy and stick to the schedule. Understand?
Critchley's got the Iroquois up and running again. Doesn't bother your kids?
No, they're Avro kids. They sleep better when the test engines are running. So do I, for that matter. Huh? That's the night shift shutting down. Lights go up, the water pressure goes down. Everybody's showering. The traffic jams at shift change, they're just terrible. Nobody minds. This is Malton. It's the hottest little town in Canada right now. All the churches and houses and restaurants going up. All because of Avro. Jack, there was something I wanted to ask you about. In terms of testing flight controls, it would be very useful for me to monitor the flight control system from the primary location. That way I can initiate direct analysis right at the source.
What are you saying? You want to go up with me? But all your monitoring equipment's on the ground.
That's true, but it's always better to collect data closer to the source.
If you want to go up for a ride, why don't you just ask me?
I want to go for a ride.
I think we could work something out. Most people would be afraid.
I'm not.
You sure?
I'm sure.
You really want to put yourself in my hands?
I thought they were supposed to be on the controls.
Oh, there's no telling what might happen up there.
I'll take my chances. So, I'll ask James to give me clearance for tomorrow's flight.
Tomorrow?
Why not?
I hope this got nothing to do with the drinks. I thought you were beginning to like me. But Kate, it's my initial flight. It's going to be dangerous enough without exposing a passenger to it.
I'm hardly a passenger.
I don't think you should take this personally. I'll take you up another time.
If I'm up there, it's going to speed up the testing process. I thought that's what you wanted.
I'm sorry, Kate. I can't take you up this time.
We will return to The Arrow on CBC.
It's not easy being an investor these days. With so many RSP options, it can be confusing if you don't have someone to help. At Investors Group, we work one-on-one over the long term, helping you build the right retirement plan and offering a world of mutual funds from advisors with proven track records. That's why Canadians trust us with more mutual fund assets than any other company. With Investors Group, you're worth more.
McDonald's, huh? Yeah. Smells good. Thanks.
If this ride were any longer, you'd have to fight for those fries.
We're stuck.
Scents and fragrances just mask odor. New Always All Days actually help absorb odor with its unique odor-absorbing layer and new Fresh Weave covering. Try new odor-absorbing Always All Days and don't just mask odor, absorb it.
Research shows for half of all adults, there may be a more appropriate toothpaste. Now, your dentist can help your teeth get the personalized protection they need.
The Crest Care Score, the first educational program recognized by the Canadian Dental Association. Get your score.
My experience is Europe, the salons and the streets. I work to bring you the formulas that I know give you the freedom to achieve your look. My name is Alberto.
Alberto European, in touch with your hair.
My European styling mousse contains an exclusive complex with lanolin conditioners and anti-static agents. You get fullness and feel with an incredibly soft touch. Fantastic.
Alberto European, in touch with your hair.
My job keeps me on the run, so it's a good thing there's also Claritin Extra Allergy and Sinus for my allergies. My indoor allergies, because the enemy lurks everywhere.
Excuse me? Claritin Extra Allergy and Sinus is the only non-drowsy allergy relief combined with a decongestant. So you can escape your cold-like symptoms.
Because there are times when two is better than one.
Claritin Extra for allergy and sinus.
They say that maybe one got away. There's a farmer in Western Canada who knows the legend well. You see, he has a little secret he keeps hidden away in an old barn. Now, if only he'd tell us where that barn is.
See the only known remains of the Avro Arrow in Pushing the Envelope, a new exhibition at the National Aviation Museum in Ottawa.
I told you I didn't want a passenger.
Avro still owns the plane. Crawford gives the orders.
I'll refuse to fly with you.
Sure, Zura'd be happy to go up.
Look, Kate, I'm gonna push this plane today, see what she can do, and it could be dangerous. But if we don't start putting some big performance numbers up soon, this whole program could be at risk.
You've got a job to do, and so do I.
Arrow 201, this is Avro Tower. What is your status, please?
Avro Tower, we're lit up, ready for takeoff in about 30 seconds. Flight plan calls for a straight route, Toronto to Kingston and return, ETA Toronto, about 18 minutes out of dawn. Ready, Miss O'Hara?
Ready, Mr. Woodman?
Arrow 201, you're cleared for takeoff.
distracted and feeling good.
Incredible.
Are you using the Hughes weapon system on this rig?
No. We're developing the Sparrow 2 missiles with the Astra guidance system here in Canada.
You're building an airframe, an engine, and a weapon system?
That's right, Colonel.
What kind of ground control is required?
None. You can't expect any ground control over the high Arctic. The computers will make each aircraft totally self-sufficient. They'll find the enemy, lock in, and destroy before he gets over the ice cap.
Control's very sensitive, very responsive.
Can I switch to auto mode now?
Auto mode? We just got up here.
Well, let's see if the computer will take us to Kingston. I'm switching to auto override. I'm dialing in the Kingston coordinates. Set.
Hey, look, Ma. .201 at Mach 0.7, increasing through Mach 1.
What happened?
Gee, I guess the engines quit.
What?
Kate, we broke the sound barrier. You can't hear them. Okay, here's Kingston. Auto mode's been having all the fun. When's it my turn?
Just let me set the Toronto heading.
201 directly over Kingston Beacon, negotiating 180 degrees standard turn, not to exceed 1.5 Gs. .242 degrees, straight to Molten. Okay, now I'm going to take over. Disengaging auto mode, manual override. So, you ready? Mach 2, 50,000 feet?
Do it.
Arrow 201, Arrow 201, this is Avro Tower. Do you read? What is your position, please? Arrow 201, Arrow 201, this is Avro Tower. Please continue on course.
Will do. Just going for a little altitude first. 3/4 throttle, still climbing and accelerating.
My God, this is a rocket. What did I tell you?
We're at Mach 1.6 at 32,000 feet. Make that 1.7.
Arrow 201, Arrow 201, this is Avro Tower. Please continue on course.
Woodman, this is Gordon. Cut back your throttles. That's enough.
Gordon, I can do Mach 2. I can take the world speed and altitude record right here, right now. Let me do it.
I says no. If you break the records, those Frenchmen will buy the Pratt & Whitneys. We can kiss that engine contract goodbye. We wait for the Iroquois in 206.
We're so damn close.
All right, then, if you won't listen to business sense, listen to this. You have a female civilian with you in an unproven aircraft. No one knows what'll happen at Mach 2. It's your responsibility, Woodman.
Mach 1.9 and a climb at 3/4 throttle. That's one incredible bird, Gordon. Congratulations.
Thank you. Put down 25,000 feet, Mach 1.2.
Well, we did 40,000 at 1.9.
25,000, 1.2.
So,
I can't believe the flight's almost over.
Well, Still got a little fuel left. Avro Tower. We'll limit speed and altitude, but request permission to extend this leg out over the lake. Engineer O'Hara has requested some tests on the flight control system.
Arrow 201, this is Avro Tower. That's an affirmative.
Maybe we can have some fun after all.
What are you doing?
Ever been to Buffalo?
Where's he gone?
Arrow 201, come in, please.
Everything's fine here. Just checking FCS response. Let's go wake up the Yanks over at Niagara Air Force Base.
Captain, look at this. Look at that son of a bitch come at us. What the hell was that?
The Arrow will continue on CBC.
Hi. When's your break?
Soon.
You wanna maybe go for a drive? I'll buy you lunch.
I brought my lunch, thanks.
Are you sure? Lunch, Angie.
Thanks. My lunch.
You left it in the kitchen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not easy being an investor these days. You're surrounded by financial institutions, either so impersonal you can't get their attention, let alone advice, or they're only looking after their own best interests. Fortunately, there's a better way. At Investors Group, we work one-on-one over the long term. First, understanding your needs and goals, then offering a complete choice of financial solutions with strong performance. With Investors Group, you're worth more.
See how those beans are piled up? Well, look at that. It looks like a fort. When the butter melts, it goes down into the fort and visits every one of those beans. Beans love butter. Look at that one. It's so happy, it's smiling.
Hi, Eva. There's nothing like butter to bring out the taste of your favorite foods. There's butter, and there is no other. Only butter.
The gang from A Fish Called Wanda is back.
Yeah!
In a story of crass capitalism,
You stole! Everybody steal!
blatant commercialism,
It's not sexual.
and animal magnetism.
He likes animals.
Oh, he doesn't just like them. Could we explore that thinking a little?
John Cleese, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Kline, Michael Palin. Fierce Creatures. Starts Friday, January 24th at theaters everywhere.
Now with the cheese.
Morning, noon, or in the middle of the night, the taste of cheese is always right. When you've got cheese, you've got a choice.
Winter's here, and it's time to ask yourself, does your battery have the juice to get you started when you really need it? Do your tires have the traction you need for slippery situations? Only Canadian Tire offers MotoMaster batteries and tires to get you going in any situation. All at the everyday low prices you'd expect from Canada's automotive store. Canadian Tire, everyday low prices made better.
Speed, altitude, practical design. I think anyone can appreciate the superiority of this Canadian aircraft. I've never seen anything like it. I recommend strongly we purchase several squadrons with this aircraft when they become ready for service.
Look, if we buy a Canadian aircraft for American defense, our own aircraft companies go stark raving nuts, and so do the unions. The last thing they want is competition from up north butting into their markets.
You know, this Aero's supposed to be a top-secret aircraft, yet the company's released scale model kits. Soviet agents are lining up at the toy stores.
Sir, with all due respect, my priority is to provide my men with the best possible aircraft in the world.
Why are the Canadians building military aircraft in the first place? I thought they built canoes. You know, they should have bought those surplus Beaumark missiles we were trying to sell them. Whatever happened to that deal?
I'm telling you, we'd be fools not to have these aircraft for ourselves.
It's not going to happen, Colonel.
There's something I'd like to ask you, sir, on another point of business. When is the CIA going to share open and frank information on this U-2 spy plane of yours?
What spy plane?
Look, the sky is my territory. And sooner or later, you're going to have to deal with me.
President Eisenhower has assured the United Nations there is no high-altitude American spy plane.
I can only hope it's because he doesn't know. Are you going to brief me on the program or not?
I can't help you, Colonel. The U-2 program's the real issue here. It's the best idea we've had since the war. We can practically take pictures of Khrushchev taking a crap. The president stated there is no spy plane. Now, if what that colonel says is true, this air would fly circles around the U-2. Take photographs, make the president a liar.
Do you really think the Canadians might blow the whistle on us?
Of course. Half the damn country are pinkos.
All right. I'll have a word about this with the president.
We're still waiting for your aircraft to achieve operational requirements.
We have no doubt in the aircraft's abilities.
You said that you could fly your aircraft to 75,000 feet. This report says you only made it to 25,000 feet.
I don't care what the report says, Minister. I flew the aircraft to 45,000 feet.
And you only flew to Mach 1.2.
I terminated a climb at Mach 1.9. Minister, this aircraft will fly to 75,000 feet and at Mach 2.5, but the testing will take a little bit more time. We'll hit peak performance with the new engines. They're 28% lighter and 34% more powerful.
And when will these new engines be ready?
We'll get in there and find the problem.
Are you ready? We bring in the press?
Won't start.
What?
The damn engine won't start.
Edward, they're out there waiting for you to deliver 20,000 pounds of thrust.
I know.
Sir?
What?
Maybe it's the new cowling. It could be reducing airflow to the vents.
Well, get the bloody cowling off!
Go ahead, Mr. Critchley.
We're ready here.
told you, didn't I?
Get the afterburner.
Extraordinary! That is extraordinary!
Bet you can't wait to get your mitts on that one, eh, Whitman? What do you say, Freddie? How about we put this into full production? Critchley, well done. Now we'll see the real arrow fly.
This way, gentlemen.
President have his mosquito lotion?
It's okay, he borrowed some from the Prime Minister.
Hula poppers, jitterbugs, mep spinners, Canadian wigglers, American jiggers, flies, furry skirts and flash. For my money, John, you can't beat live bait. That's what gets the action.
I won't argue, Ike. Makes sense to give the fish what he really wants.
I don't get much time for this lately.
Comes to mind. First time in months I haven't thought about the national debt.
Right. Just our luck. To be in office during a recession on the Cold War.
And that Sputnik didn't help matters.
Oh, well, ours will be up there very soon. Twice as big, 10 times more sophisticated.
What goes on in those Russian mines? It's hard to believe they would actually consider an attack.
Without sufficient deterrence, I don't doubt it. Their bombers are bad enough, but the guided missiles are the major threat. Have you thought about that defensive missile system we offered you?
The Beaumark missiles? I'd buy them from you, Ike, but $200 million. That new fighter interceptor jet, the Arrow, has our defense over budget as it is. We could trade you some of those for the missiles.
A fighter jet? Oh. We scrapped 2 of our own fighter programs.
You scrapped them?
Obsolete. Future's missiles, John, missiles. More dependable, cheaper, too. Of course, you're air chiefs. I won't tell you that. I won't admit that a cheap missile will do the job of manned aircraft. Put them out of a job. Let me tell you this, John. Beware of big business and the military. When they're in bed together, trouble for the whole country. No one knows that better than this old soldier. You buy them, we'll help you install them up in your uninhabited north. Soviet nuclear bombers will be brought down safely in the high Arctic. If you don't, we'll have to install them ourselves just south of your border.
But then those planes would be shot down over our cities.
Think about it, John. I'm pretty sure that the missile option would be best for both of us. See, what did I tell you? Live bait.
Well, the missile proposal is perfectly reasonable to me.
What will that mean to our Arrow program? We can't afford both.
No, I shouldn't think so. On that, I'm in full agreement.
And the Americans' other proposal, this joint command idea. I don't know.
Well, we do share a common objective with the Americans, the defense of North America. They're our allies, after all.
But our foreign policies have never jibed.
This is a domestic policy, General.
Futuristic technology and jobs.
Perhaps, in the interest of national security, any further performance figures on the Arrow will not be made public. We'll determine what the Canadian people need to know about its capabilities.
Yes, Prime Minister.
We will return to The Arrow on CBC.
It's not easy being an investor these days. With so many RSP options, it can be confusing if you don't have someone to help. At Investors Group, we work one-on-one over the long term, helping you build the right retirement plan and offering a world of mutual funds from advisors with proven track records. That's why Canadians trust us with more mutual fund assets than any other company. With Investors Group, you're worth more.
No, good girl. No.
Hi, I'm Elena Delau. I live on a family farm and we make eggs.
Actually, the chickens make eggs, don't they?
I just collected these this morning. My sister Leah likes to cook like this.
I'm cooking eggs. We like scrambled eggs.
I like them fried.
Egg in basket.
They're good for you.
And they're great to eat in the morning.
Eggs are good.
I love living on a farm.
Eggs. Eggs! Eggs! Eggs, great goodness.
Every minute of every day, someone joins Sprint Canada. Take a minute and think about that.
Sprint Canada's the most savings plan has the best monthly savings. Guaranteed.
Great savings and great service have made Sprint Canada the fastest growing long-distance company in Canada. Hello.
Hi, I'd like to get the most savings plan.
You're right on time. Get the most for the least from Sprint Canada.
Call 1-800-THE-MOST for details now.
From the earth for the body. Fresh, pure, essential vitamins. Jameson, natural sources. From the earth for the body. From the heart of the mountains. Fresh, pure, essential minerals. Jameson, natural sources.
On a journey to discover the world.
What do you want to do with her?
Its secrets.
Put her in your way?
Its limits.
Isn't she meant for something better than that?
One woman has reached her point of no return.
What have you to do with me?
Everything.
Nicole Kidman, John Malkovich, and Barbara Hershey in Jane Campion's brilliant interpretation of Henry James' masterpiece, The Portrait of a Lady.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Nixon exploded, called me, of all things, a Romanian agent. My telephone was tapped. My office was broken into. I was tailed when I covered stories. It was a mess.
The Avro Arrow. The ambition. The politics. The controversy. The lessons. The legend remains strong. What is fact? What is not? The National, tonight at 10.
Prime Minister is about to announce that he's joined with Eisenhower to create the North American Air Defense Command, headed by General Seaforth.
Seaforth? That means we'll be under American command. How could the chiefs of staff agree to that?
Chiefs were not consulted. The Prime Minister is acting alone. There's more. The government has ordered a feasibility study into replacing fighter interceptors with unmanned missiles.
They're getting ready to shut this program down.
So, how close is 206 to flying?
Claire! Claire, please come back here. Claire! Claire!
I think we should consider a third shift.
Just let me talk to her, please.
Well, I'll talk to the unions about reduced overtime.
Tell her I only need a minute, right?
Campaign to encourage stories in the newspapers.
I know.
And I thought
I know, but
promotional film
just for a minute,
schools
please.
would be effective. Well, for God's sake, don't mention any more about that flying saucer.
I said I know that.
There's also a toy
God damn it!
that wants to put out another Aero model kit.
Good. We need good workers like you. How about you, sir? Hi, I'm from North American Aviation.
What's going on here?
This joker here's from North American Aircraft. He's offering us jobs in the States.
How'd you get in here?
What makes you think any of us would want to work for you, huh? We're building the most advanced aircraft in the world here.
Yeah, but for how long?
That's enough. That's enough.
Hey,
you.
easy.
That's enough. Escort this man off the property. Rest of you people go back to work.
Oh, yes, I know. The company claims that the Aero testing is going very well, but has anyone been allowed to confirm this?
Are you saying the company is lying about the Aero's performance?
Well, now this is off the record. There's been a secret report. The Aero is not turning out to be the aircraft that we'd hoped it would be. It's unstable at high speeds, 25,000-foot ceiling, fuel boiling in the wings. And the price per plane has skyrocketed to $12 million. So, I'm afraid, as pretty as it is, we've got ourselves a lemon.
Tell us on the record. Yes, sir. What can we tell the Canadian public?
I want to know what is going on.
Okay. Well, first, the Aero is a liberal program. Conservatives would love to see it fail. Then there are the Americans. They'll have a hand in this somewhere. Their aviation industry would never let them buy Aeros. So if they can't have it, we can't have it either. Then there's Crawford Gordon. He's got enemies everywhere. They're all in control now. Plenty of long knives, and Gordon's their target.
Well, what about the people? I mean, don't they understand what's going on? You have to write stories that let the public know what we're doing. The Aero is a wonderful success.
In this country, that's the problem, Kate. It's too much of a success.
Well, this is a lie. Can't you dispute it?
Well, give me something.
All right. They're basing their $12 million figure on the entire program if we build 30 aircraft. If we build 100 as planned, the cost goes down to $4 million each. I mean, that's less than the F-104.
Well, no one reads rebuttals. Look, right now, the Aero being terrific is a non-story. Newspapers aren't interested in it. The Aero is a lemon. Now, that's a fresh story. That's what sells newspapers these days. Even if we wanted to print a pro-Aero story, the government has stopped us from printing performance numbers for security reasons.
Well, what about a story about the workers and their families? The men on the line? I mean, you've done stuff like that before. What about the people who have devoted their lives to this company?
They'll call it soft, but I can try.
Thank you. What about when 206 flies and breaks every record? You gonna print that?
When you break all the records, I'll get it published, one way or another.
Crawford, this is your new secretary, Gloria Collinson.
Oh, hi, Freddie. Sorry,
That'll be fine for now, Miss Collinson. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Mary and I had a little tiff. I gotta find a hotel room. Anyone call for me?
No. Crawford, listen. Cabinet is organizing a smear campaign against us. They're trying to shut us down.
Yes, I need a long-distance operator.
Crawford, we need your help.
Sure. I'll be right with you. We'll fix it up. I just need a minute here, Freddie. Operator, yes, I need to call Halifax, Nova Scotia, please.
This engine doesn't fit. You'll have to redesign it. Redesign it, but we did it according to your specs. The specs have changed. I had to modify the vents. Why did you modify the vents? So I could move the fuel feed aft.
Well, why did you move the fuel feed aft?
So it would fit the Mirage.
What?
What?
Gordon has sold the engine to the French. Now they'll fit.
French? The hell with the French.
Look, all you have to do for it to fit the Arrow is redesign the intake.
But this is our engine.
It's not your engine. It's my engine. Now, you better face it. It's your airframe that's getting the bad press. My engine has a better chance of surviving than your airframe, so you can damn well adapt for me.
Never.
Jim. Jim. I know it's a pain in the ass. I would like to strangle Christy myself, but we do not have time for this. You can modify the intake in no time. Can't you just be reasonable and have a conversation with him? Talk to him, Jim. Where's Crawford?
Halifax.
What?
Halifax. He's trying to get Claire to come back.
Our CBC movie, The Arrow, will return.
Chevy Blazer. The only sport utility vehicle with a driver control system. It's nice to know it's there.
It's not easy being an investor these days. You're surrounded by financial institutions, either so impersonal you can't get their attention, let alone advice, or they're only looking after their own best interests. Fortunately, there's a better way. At Investors Group, we work one-on-one over the long term. First, understanding your needs and goals, then offering a complete choice of financial solutions with strong performance. With Investors Group, you're worth more.
McDonald's, huh? Yeah. Smells good. Thanks.
If this ride were any longer, you'd have to fight for those fries.
We're stuck.
Got a dirty, filmy shower door? You've got a choice. You can try to scrub it, or you can CLR it. And that rust-stained bathtub? You can try steel wool, or you can CLR it. If you want fast and easy cleaning, try CLR. It's guaranteed to instantly remove the toughest stains caused by calcium, lime, and rust. CLR glass decanters, quick and clean. CLR your pots and pans. CLR those water spot stains, and your toilet too. CLR the stucco wall. Run a little through an empty washer cycle and get rid of rust stains in your machine. CLR works all over the house. It's guaranteed or your money back. So for tough stains in kitchens, bathrooms, basements, and more, the choice is CLR.
Available at participating Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, Kmart, Safeway, Zellers, Pro Hardware, Do-It Centers, True Value Hardware, Beaver Lumber, Co-op stores.
McDonald's, huh? Yeah. Smells good. Thanks.
If this ride were any longer, you'd have to fight for those fries.
We're stuck.
Why was Jim dead?
Their troubled son ended up in a homeless shelter. 3 days later, he was dead.
I could not believe this was happening to our family.
The Fifth Estate, Tuesday night at 8 on CBC.
I think it would have been best to have taken them off the market.
These drugs were put behind the counter so pharmacists could warn you about dangerous side effects.
We're talking sudden death.
Marketplace goes undercover to find out if you are being warned. Tuesday at 7:30.
We have determined the new Canadian Defence Program will include the purchase of Beaumark missiles installed at 2 bases in Canada. As for the Avro Arrow program, the cost has tripled, and it is proving limited in performance.
He's lying.
We are canceling the development of the Astra and Sparrow II armament system, the cost of which has also been escalating. We will be making a final decision regarding the Arrow program shortly after our reassessment is complete in April.
We have until April.
We don't have a weapons system. Maybe I could talk to Colonel Fairchild. Maybe through NORAD he could give us a discount on an American arms package.
It's done?
Not by a long shot. We're gonna fight this thing.
No, I mean the plane is done.
What?
206. I just finished it. It's ready for taxi trials. Fight what thing?
I think it's time we went on the offensive.
I'm telling you, I have flown this aircraft and it will meet all expectations. This secret cabinet report is all lies.
And the real question remains, do we need fighter interceptors anymore? Or are they simply obsolete as compared with missiles?
Manned fighters will remain an essential part of our defense system.
But why?
Gentlemen, thank you very much for seeing us. Is the Prime Minister coming?
No, I'm afraid he had a previous commitment.
I see. Well, we have a new proposal for you for the Arrow program. The United States Air Force has offered to pay the total price to arm each Arrow we produce under the NORAD agreement. Now, that is $500,000 off the price of each aircraft. So therefore, if you will authorize the completion of 100 aircraft, Avro can guarantee a unit price of $3.5 million each, including fire control and armament, fully operational. It's all right there, fully guaranteed. We think it's very reasonable.
Well, do you? Well, that's most interesting. Carry on, Mr. Smythe, carry on.
Thank you. Certainly much cheaper than the inferior American planes. And of course, 60% of all the money that is spent in Canada is reclaimed by the government in taxes. So you see, it makes all sorts of sense to
Are you actually thinking, sir, of replacing fighters with missiles for the primary defense of Canada?
Why not?
The best defense system must bring a man into battle to analyze and act. A missile can't tell the difference between a Soviet bomber and a TCA passenger plane that's gone off course. You can't call a missile back. Do you want that responsibility?
Well, surely there are safeguards against that sort of thing.
Missiles will take 2 years to install and test. And the Soviet bombers are ready to strike now. We cannot defend our country, our continent, with a handful of untested missiles and our old CF-100s.
We know, Lieutenant Woodman. But we've considered all that. All that will be taken care of. You see, for a transitional phase, the Americans have offered to defend Canadian soil.
The Americans are going to defend us? Are we going to have a country here, sir? Or give up and just be the 49th state?
If not the 100 aircraft, I suppose we could simply finish the 37 that are currently on the assembly line. It would be much cheaper for the government to finish these aircraft and put them into service than to pay the contract termination penalties to Avro. Now, this would allow us to keep our design team together to look for other projects. And by the time that those 37 fly, I'm sure there'll be plenty of other opportunities to
Gentlemen, we have created the finest aircraft team in the world. We have done what they said was impossible.
The files, they're full of applications from the best engineers at Boeing, Lockheed, Douglas, Gloucesters.
And they would all feel privileged to work with Avro.
Having the Arrow means that Canada is being recognized as a power among the nations of the world.
We have a contract for 400 Iroquois engines with France. We have the development of civilian aircraft, nuclear power, a monorail train that will circle the city of Toronto. We are currently developing a flying saucer for the U.S. Army. With this amazing team, I think it would be crazy for you
to...
You
know, Mr. Smythe, we asked you some time ago to consider less highly technical work that Avro might do if the Arrow was no longer in production, such as perhaps the manufacturing of products more practical to Canada's needs, as in, well, let's say, aluminum boats or home appliances, even cookware.
Cookware.
Cookware. Crawford?
I had to look all over for you. I've got something to show you. You know, I can understand you wanting to get away from people. I like to do that, too. Now, here is the Mark III, high altitude. It'll get us beyond 100,000 feet. We can have one in the air next year. Look, here's what happens. I fly up to the stratosphere. That's the edge of space. Then we flip her over. Then we open the belly pod. And here we have the missile. And we just launch it right into space. Right into orbit. At that kind of an altitude, we don't need those big rockets that the Americans and the Russians have. Just little ones. We can do the same thing with a manned capsule. We could have a man in orbit the end of next year. But the best thing, the very best thing is we can use the Arrow as a platform and we can launch a vehicle to the moon. We can do it, Crawford. We can go to the moon. Yeah, see, I was having a problem with a rocket propellant and the trajectories for the lunar orbit and some other things and so on and so forth. But I figured all that out and we can do it now. So, when can we start?
Go to the moon?
Yeah. Yeah, there's still some work to do on the landing craft and the primary rocket.
Immediately. I'll inform Ottawa right away. Well, start with something modest. Like 100 million.
Don't you remember what you said? Anything we can dream, we can do.
You said that. And this is only the beginning. And you said that too. This is only the beginning.
Only the beginning.
Well, I better go. I guess I better get going. You rest up and come back soon. We need you. Well, goodbye, Crawford.
Morning. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. G.
Good to see you. Canadian.
James,
Great to see you again, sir. Tell the boys in assembly.
I don't know why. There's everybody on the show.
Good morning, Kate.
Crawford, we were just discussing Cabinet's decision to go ahead with the Beaumont missile purchase.
Yes, but remember, Freddie, governments come and go. Avro is here to stay. I said the future is unlimited. We're not going to let some gang in Ottawa destroy what we created. Now, all right, there's a lot to do. What is the status on number 206?
Well, we should be able to get her in the air in a couple of days.
Good. You and Jim make sure that happens. Kate, I want you to go and see your friend June and coordinate a formal press campaign based upon the records that number 206 is about to break. Freddie, we need to organize a team to put together a new documentary about the development of the Arrow. With all the advanced technology stuff. Models, first flight, chase plane footage, interviews, speculations on the future. I want it to air on CBC 2 Sundays from now. As soon as you organize that documentary team, pack your bag and come with me.
But Crawford, where are we going?
Somebody's got to take on that son of a bitch in Ottawa, and I'm just the one to do it. How much longer will his lordship be?
Prime Minister's on the telephone with the President of the United States.
Oh, well, we wouldn't want to disturb them, would we?
Now remember, Crawford, all the performance reports that James prepared is in the file I gave you. And we have matched every operational requirement so far. Also, there's the financial reports. We're a little bit over budget, but not much compared to the Brits Hunter or the Yanks F-104. Crawford, you need to give him the employment numbers. Tell him about the 654 subcontracting companies. Tell him about the international patents that'll bring in millions.
Yeah.
Point out to him that 60% of all funds that are spent in this country are returned to the government in taxes. Talk about the passenger aircraft, the commuter transit, the monorail system, the space program. It's all in the file.
Don't worry. We'll have a good little chat.
I know. Now, where's the file I gave you?
Oh, damn. I must have left it on the train.
Oh. Prime Minister will see you now.
Crawford, listen to me, please. He doesn't like smoking or drinking or profanity.
Don't worry, Freddie. We're going to straighten this whole goddamn thing out. You cannot shut down the goddamn third largest employer in Canada. I will not let you.
The Avro Arrow has become a multi-million-dollar make-work project.
You really don't understand, do you? You know, it's politicians like you who would keep this country from greatness.
If you have no respect for me, have respect for my office. I am the Prime Minister of Canada.
And I demand that you personally guarantee that the Arrow program will not be canceled.
If you don't lower your voice and stop pounding my desk, I'll call security and have you thrown out.
You've been spreading lies about my airplane. Well, I will tell you this, that when the all-Canadian Arrow flies and breaks all the world records, you and your cronies will be exposed for just who you are, a bunch of fools and liars. Get out!
Goodbye, Mr. Gordon.
Our CBC movie, The Arrow, will return.
It's not easy being an investor these days. With so many RSP options, it can be confusing if you don't have someone to help. At Investors Group, we work one-on-one over the long term, helping you build the right retirement plan and offering a world of mutual funds from advisors with proven track records. That's why Canadians trust us with more mutual fund assets than any other company. With Investors Group, you're worth more.
Dad, you worked late.
Oh, all night. You need any help?
No.
Good. 'Cause I'm too tired.
Tested and true. Dad! I know that you'll always come through.
Thought you could use some help.
Thanks.
Celebrate the holidays at Red Lobster with our new Scampi Tails and Shrimp Dinner. Imagine petite deep-sea lobster tails served with savory garlic shrimp. It's at a special holiday price for a limited time, so hurry in now to Red Lobster Canada.
CBC Television is on the World Wide Web. A new site, a new look, a wealth of information, a Canadian view of our world, a website to call your own.
Winning in Ontario's largest cash and cars lottery could leave you with a lot of decisions.
Cakes for John Jr., presents for little Emma.
Every $100 ticket has 1 in 28 odds.
Something for Esther next door.
Millions in cash and cars, including free $1 million grand prizes.
Bill jobs for people. A year's supply of ginger snaps. A condo in Bel Air. Hot tub, snooker table. A pool boy.
The Heart and Stroke multi-million-dollar lottery. Order tickets now.
My job keeps me on the run, so it's a good thing there's also Claritin Extra Allergy and Sinus for my allergies. My indoor allergies, because the enemy lurks everywhere. Excuse me?
Claritin Extra Allergy and Sinus is the only non-drowsy allergy relief combined with a decongestant. So you can escape your cold-like symptoms.
Because there are times when 2 is better than 1.
Claritin Extra for allergy and sinus.
Each year, the average American works 50.5 hours a week, puts in 336 hours of carpool, spends 182 hours doing yard work, and walks the family pet 730 times. If you're going to work that hard, shouldn't your vacation? Call for a free visitor guide and information on our Air Transat holidays, St. Petersburg Clearwater Busch Gardens Vacation Package at 1-800-345-6710, and let your money work hard, too.
A high seas mystery.
There's nobody here.
Someone brought her in and abandoned her?
She sank in 1946.
Every year she comes back to the same spot she went down.
What is with you and that bloody boat?
Black Harbor, Wednesday at 9 on CBC.
His drive was to be something.
With incredible ambition, he built an empire.
He scared me. He scared all of us.
He was a dreamer who made dreams come true.
Samuel Bronfman on Life and Times, Wednesday night at 8.
Ottawa has just announced the elimination of the Avro supersonic jet fighter.
airframe's been canceled.
Attention. If I may have your attention, please. Prime Minister stood in the House of Commons this morning and announced that the Arrow and Iroquois programs have been terminated. This cancellation has been confirmed by the Department of Defense Production. And we have no further details until Ottawa gets in touch with us. We ask that you remain calm and continue your work. And later today, you will be informed as to our future. Thank you.
So they want to fight, do they? Well, so be it. I'll fire everybody. We'll see what Diefenbaker says to that.
Robert, that's 14,000 people, 35,000 in the support companies. You just can't fire 50,000 people in a day.
Don't you see, Freddie? The fool will be forced to reinstate the program.
We can find other projects, other contracts.
What the hell is going on? They gave us till April.
They changed their minds.
Let me take up 206. Just let me try around. I'll take the damn thing out over the lake and ditch it so they don't impound it.
No. Now just cool down, Jack. Let's find out exactly what this means before we do anything crazy.
May I have your attention, please? Federal government has instructed us
To cease all work on the programs. There was no advance notice. Therefore, the company has no choice but to terminate the employment of all
Avro and Iroquois workers until we assess the impact of the Prime Minister's orders. Everyone must now leave the plant.
What are you doing? You can't take this. Come on, put it back. Put it back.
North American Aviation. We've got a job for you in California. How about you, sir? Hi, I'm from North American Aviation, and we've got jobs for
Boys, let me offer you a card. Boeing Aircraft, make the finest planes in America. We need some workers for our city.
Traitor. Screw you. I'm going to California. You're a quitter. That's all you are. You're just a quitter and a traitor. That's it. A quitter and a traitor. That's all you're ever going to be.
They did what? We'll offer to buy any that are operational. To hell with orders.
industry's future hangs in the balance. Either way, the situation demonstrates how much aircraft production depends on government policy. The industry is trying to ease that dependency, but there's little chance of maintaining its present size with commercial orders. Avro, in particular, has not. Work went on until the last shift. In fact, it was almost time for the final whistle when the 15,000-odd employees of Avro and Orenda were told not to return. These men had taken a natural pride in producing the Arrow, undoubtedly the greatest achievement in Canadian aviation. Only a few will return to the final cleanup tomorrow, exactly 50 years from the day when the Silver Dart flew and Canada embarked from the air age. Now, the outlook is on us, not only for Avro, but for the industry as a whole. The government says plainly, our nation of 17 million has authorities to work towards the defense budget on the
I thought the press was on our side.
He's firing thousands. I don't think we have a choice, Mr. Prime Minister. For now, we'll have to reinstate the program.
He's told me this was what the public wanted, to cut liberal programs and balance the budget.
Well, it's too late now.
We can't show weakness. We have made a decision and we can't go back.
The workers are all my constituents. They'll throw me out of office.
Don't worry, John. We'll always make a place for you in the party.
Prime Minister, the United States Air Force wants to buy all completed aircraft with parts. American General Electric has made the same offer, as has the British government.
They want them? But the president told me manned aircraft were obsolete.
The French government wants to know if they can still expect delivery of 400 Iroquois engines next year for use in their new Mirage fighters.
If other countries buy it, we'll look like fools.
So what do we tell them?
No. No to all of them. Not one Arrow or engine will leave Canadian soil. The program is terminated. I want you to get rid of everything. Planes, engines, parts, blueprints, patents, photos, films, everything. Get rid of them.
Surely you can't.
Them all.
Yes, I can. You're forgetting yourself, John. I want to be rid of these infernal airplanes. The sooner this is done, the sooner everyone will forget about them.
You can't just shut down an industry like a workhouse. History will prove this to be one of the most colossal blunders made by a prime minister in the history of Canada.
I am speaking for my brother machinists when I accuse the prime minister of economic treason, political servitude, and moral prostitution.
Going on? The Department of National Defense order, sir. Destruct and dispose. Sorry, sir.
Wait! The fuel and oxygen systems are charged up from yesterday. He's gonna blow himself up.
Hey, get those guys off the plane! It's gonna blow!
You'll need a crew to empty the tank.
Shut it off! Get away from the plane!
This is restricted airspace, you know. I could lose my license.
Come on, right over top!
Should have taken up 206 like I wanted to. I was gonna ditch it in the lake.
I can't believe 206 is gone.
But it's still there. They fired everybody, so they didn't have a crew to empty the tanks. I guess I'll chop it up tomorrow.
You mean it's still intact?
As I know.
And it's outside? Fueled up?
Yeah.
In a moment, the conclusion of The Arrow. CBC television on the World Wide Web. A wealth of information. Check out this week's hotspots. The Arrow. CBC, a website to call your own.
A tough cold isn't just up here. Your sinuses are congested too. That's why there's Advil Cold and Sinus for congestion. It's tough on colds like Advil is on pain. And now it's available without a prescription.
Advil Cold and Sinus, today's relief for tough colds.
With Lauren, I learned from the doctor about Robitussin DM. Now I trust it to bring soothing relief of coughs due to colds for the whole family.
Thanks, Doctor.
Robitussin DM, recommended by doctors, pharmacists, and Dr. Mom.
This January 17th,
SWAT wants to go in.
Eddie Murphy is working Metro.
Can I have a dozen donuts, please?
Strategies in hostage situations.
I'm a negotiator. I have no gun, see? Give me my car, man.
You want a hard top or convertible?
Eddie Murphy.
This is it. This is your ride. Oh, come on now. Who am I, Red Fox?
Metro starts Friday, January 17th.
I started school here about 1915, and most of the times I wait till I hear the bell going in the school, and up I would run.
She's been coming in here for years, ever since I came here to work. She's in here most every day.
Good morning, Nancy. Cold today. I like to start my morning with one special thing, a nice cup of coffee.
And she always orders the same thing. Even if I'm not here, the girls know it's a large coffee, double cream.
I've seen her before. I don't know why she don't make her own coffee.
Well, it's quite a walk from where she lives, you know, mostly uphill.
Well, every time I go, I usually see some of my friends. It's always great to say hi. Haven't seen you for a while. Well, gotta go now. Busy day.
I'd say Lillian's one of the family.
In this life, some things are worth the effort.
CBC television on the World Wide Web. A wealth of information. Check out this week's hotspots. The Arrow. CBC, a website to call your own.
South Africa plays with your head. You never know who your friends really are.
An expatriate recalls his past.
We have to tell someone. No one has the right to say such hurtful things to a child.
Hikaya premieres January 23rd.
The Avro Arrow. The ambition. The politics. The controversy. The lessons. The legend remains strong. What is fact? What is not? The National, tonight at 10. All-Star Saturday begins with a test of the best in the skills competition. Then they lace them up for the 47th annual All-Star Game. It's All-Star Saturday, this weekend on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. The CBC movie The Arrow is brought to you in part by Chevrolet. Tried, tested, and true. And by Investors Group. You are worth more.
Hey, Kate. What's this all about?
Thanks for coming.
Lofsky? Can you pressurize 206? You bet I can. want to come with you.
You sure?
I've never actually gone right up in it. I've never actually...
What?
I've never flown before.
What? You've never flown, ever?
No.
Coast is clear.
And that's it. We are done. It's all yours, sir.
Jim, you go on up.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, Flight Lieutenant Woodman.
Thank you, Engineer O'Hara.
What the hell do you think you're doing? I thought you'd try something like this. Don't you know that stealing a top security aircraft can get you 20 years?
Yes, sir.
However, if your mind's made up,
I beg your pardon, sir?
your instructions once you're airborne. Better go.
Jim. Let's see what this little sweetheart can do. 054 degrees. Afterburner now. Too bad it's not official. There we go, past the RCAF speed requirements. There it is, Jim. 2G turn to Mach 1.5 without losing a foot of altitude. Another RCAF requirement they all said was impossible. Okay, now what did the secret cabinet report say? Ceiling of 25,000 feet? I don't think so. My God! are rare, but check one world record. Space. That's right, Jim. We're touching it. Destination for us, Jim. We'll just say goodbye.